good message.
Exactly. I was told that I was.
Can you hit that video there?
Bro.
Yes.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Light Radio. Some may call this the strangest morning radio show on the Ethernet. And this is the show that has absolutely zero agenda, zero planning, and it is
He
indeed
just says
a
that. It
stream of
actually
life.
does have lots of agenda.
Mhm.
It's just he tries to keep it secret.
Let's just be honest. It rolls prayer.
The agenda is so secret, I don't even know about it. That's how secret it is.
Sounds like
And
my
here with some
It
good
sounds like an
friends,
agenda to me.
the Frog Father. I was thinking about Uncle Frog. I said, no, that's the Frog Father, man. And we got Just Me Art Fan, and
Oh, that guy too.
just gonna kind of let things unfold the way they do. And I'm hoping, but you know, I don't want to no expectations. Hoping that Button Scotsman jumps in.
I was gonna say,
He usually tries to jump in on the morning show. So, but I kind of just put a link in the show, and that's kind of how I get him going.
I see that. I'm like, wow, that's awfully gutsy of you. It's awfully gutsy of you. It's just anybody and everybody. He's like, Frog does an open mic. Nah, here, this is an open mic. Slap this right out here, right out into the ether. Let anybody and everybody get a chance to click on that.
Yeah, bro. He threw his StreamYard link right in the comments. I was like, that's
what I'm saying. I'm like, damn.
That's bold. It's like, well, whoever walks in, are we prepared to handle it? Sure. Let's vibrate higher.
Hell yeah, dude. If we have to citizens arrest somebody, put them in StreamYard jail. I'm so down.
Citizens arrest somebody on the internet. Let's go. All three of you watching. Oh, that's me and Russell watching us. Yes.
That would be fun. You know, we were chatting earlier, and
three of us watching.
You know, I don't want to make any. Yeah, that was the secret show. You got to pay for that one. This one's free, but the secret show demands some payment.
Secret
and,
show.
You know, it's kind of cool. That doesn't sound good. No, you know, there was we were talking about Russell and his quick growth, and getting people who is interested in what he's doing and in his show.
We
I
weren't
kind
talking
of
about
flippantly,
Russell's growth. Stop it.
My growth.
and I was
Stop it.
and I flippantly said that probably didn't help from being on Cool Frog, and I don't know if that's exactly what the case is, but I'll tell you something.
No,
Because
and that's
I'll give
what I
credit when
said. I think
credit's
it has a lot to do with the networking, because there's other people that watch Russell that don't watch me, or that didn't come from me or whatever. Russell does the other half
what you're
of the
saying. It's a
job.
two-way street.
It is.
I
You
try
can't
and
just
It's a
sit there and
two-way
assume
street.
people are
Yeah,
going to come walk around. You go around and you go check out all these other places that are doing things. You
Yeah.
go say something. You say hi. You get to know somebody else, and you got a different person coming around on your show, and vice versa. And then all of a sudden, we're all growing together, as opposed
Right.
to
Well, it's just like
one
I try and
person growing and everybody
Yeah.
else just sitting there wondering how is it that person's growing.
I try and bring my
they're
friends to your
actually
guys' show too.
networking.
Yeah, you network. So I try and bring all my friends and stuff to your guys' shows and vice versa, and it's very symbiotic and working like that, and it allows us to get our message.
That's what I told Monacoa here yesterday. I'm like, I missed his show. I'm like, show your show on Discord so I know that you're there. There's other people that follow me that sit in my Discord. They see that we're live and they're like, oh, so you'd be surprised how many other people start coming around to your show. That's what I told him yesterday. I'm like, show your show, bro.
So you know how I track people?
Yeah. I didn't
just
know
so
what that was.
I
I
don't
caught
wait
an email. I went and I clicked to go watch the show. You know how long it was since you guys actually ended? I caught you actually saying, see you later. I'm like, what? Huh? I'm like, oh, I missed it.
So
I missed
when
it by like a split second. I was kind of disturbed on it. But
when I'm checking shows, I don't wait for notifications from Rumble. I actually click into my Rumble all the time and see which shows are actually active. And if I catch
no,
them,
and that's the thing. I
I'll
was watching
check
something
on
else
there. Yeah. So usually,
because
like,
I didn't
even
get a
while I'm
notification or whatever. I didn't see it.
right. Usually,
All
while
of a
I'm
sudden it did.
if I'm streaming or even if I'm watching other stuff, like I'll pull up a second window and just periodically check on it.
Yeah, well, I still have this piece of crap computer that's sitting here. I would suggest anybody that's looking at a PC or whatever, Cyber Power PC sucks ass.
Yeah. Hey, and if anybody out there's listening, maybe you have a big frivolous heart in your body, in your chest that's just bursting out with love. Cool Frog could really use some help in that technical department because he needs some upgrades, and we're all struggling here.
And that's where there's somebody that's actually been gracious enough to assist me. I do have something coming
that's cool, man.
here within the next couple of weeks.
That's
so
cool,
I'm kind of excited.
How
with
freaking
that.
cool is that?
Russell, you got to pull his stream back up. You can't leave it just 2 people watching, 3 people talking.
Yeah, that is too cool.
It's like
well,
sneeze, computer shuts down, right?
No, but yeah, this computer shuts down. That's why I'm like, I really seriously have myself limited at the moment. I'm like, I have my Discord open for a second because I wanted to look to make sure that this was actually, shelled out, saying that this is, and I'm like, oh, it is, but there's no thumbnail. Why is there no thumbnail?
Well, what I wanted to kind of get to saying was, I really like to try to give credit where credit's due, and I've already told both of you guys. I got really interested in your show, Cool Frog, on Friday nights, because I love to hear the debate, and I like to hear, again, there's not a lot of debate, but I think
conversation.
what I heard,
Good
there was
energy.
some, yeah, there was a lot of good energy and some good debating, and the one that I particularly remember was when when Russ was giving some potential solutions to what a lot of us see as a problem,
Mhm.
and him and Adam were going back and forth quite a bit, and it was a really cool dance as far as I was concerned, and I really liked that. You know, it was playful, but overall, it was like respectful and mature,
It
and
really was a dance. Wasn't it? A lot
yeah,
of people
yeah, and it
We'll
was
see
really
what
cool. And I
happens
was,
with Adam this week,
a lot
because
of people
last week
didn't.
Adam didn't come in. He usually comes in like towards the tail end, and I was
like
getting tired.
towards
I was
night
getting tired.
time.
I kicked out at night, right at Betty
Oh,
night time.
I've got to ask you guys this. Has anybody heard from Mechanic? How is Mechanic doing?
I have
heard
not.
any
I've actually
anything.
tried to reach out to him a couple different ways, and I have not heard a word from him.
Yeah. So if anybody out
So
there listening, maybe
there was a comment. There was a
I remember.
comment
Yeah,
in
you
his
said
last show, and there was a an update comment saying that he is in. I can't remember which hospital he was in, and it said, "Call me." There's a phone number, and I did try to call that phone number, as strange as that is, but I did try to call it, to call if anybody wants to check in on him. And I called, and they said, you know, if you want to check, you know, gave the hospital name, but I don't know his name, so I can't call a hospital and say, hey, is a mechanic there? Maybe I could, I don't know. But so I don't know. I just don't know what's true about this or what's not, but it's obviously something strange is going on because he was definitely dedicated to his show. Um, he has some folks that asked me to reach out to them um, on Skype, which is another thing I have no clue how to use. So I try to reach out. They said, you know, just search my name on Skype, and I searched these names, and there's like a million of those same names on Skype, and so I'm like, I don't know how to find the people there. It's just, it's complex, getting complex. But so I just wanted to finish this thought about what I was saying. So you know, I've been really like hoping to have discussions with folks for a very long time, and I've I put out a lot of shows actually, a lot of you know a good amount of shows, and quite a bit of them I would try to solicit somebody to have a conversation with. Say, hey, anybody out there, you know, you want to debate or just talk or whatever? Let's talk. And you know, kind of just didn't nothing happened. And then you know, I'm in the comments on your show, Frog, and all of a sudden people are talking back to me. I'm going, whoa, what's going on here? This is different. I'm not used to. You know, comments. I thought you just yell into space type of thing. And then
not used to getting what I want,
you know, you
working and
invited me to
having it
come
work.
on. You invited me to come on, and you know opened the door to your network kindly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, made friends instantly with Russ, and so I think I had maybe like three on my different. I have a few different channels, but I had maybe like you know 5 to 6, and I didn't even notice for a while actually because I didn't even know how to look to see if I had followers on kind of like my main whatever it's called on Rumble, and now
Mm-hmm.
that's up to 30. And on my on this channel, I have I think almost 20, and so
That's
I'm
the
sure some
18.
of them are. Yeah, okay, and then I'm sure there's like some people are the same on this one that followed the apocryphal one as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so to me, that's a freaking significant change. And you know, yeah, I it's that network is opened up a lot of doors, and I think
I
that's
mean,
really
a
cool.
lot of that's you. A lot of that's just you doing you, and you know, talking to
Well,
the people
nobody
that are
knew I
in.
was. nobody knew I was doing me for a long time. So yeah, if nobody knows you're doing you, you're kind of just doing you by yourself. And through having some eyes on, that helped a lot. What I noticed too, and you could attest to this probably a lot more, because before I was doing videos, doing a little bit of editing and then uploading, right? My goal was to do as little editing as possible. I wanted to try to streamline things. And then I finally got into actually streaming. And when I finally got into streaming, the first project that I did was 30 days of meditation for January. So that was kind of like my New Year's goal, was to do meditation for 30 consecutive days. And starting that off, what's that?
Ain't nothing wrong with that at all.
It was great. And so starting off, it would say that I had, I don't know, like 5-6 views on them. But as I streamed, it seems like it started being more accessible to whomever, without my own network growing. Just the constant streaming might have amplified getting that out. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure.
No, yeah, it's good. It's going to be a big factor in it or whatever, because when it comes down to it, I remember when I first started, it was me and another guy. He joined me on a regular basis, and we'd stream every night to show people. We did that for a couple of months, and during that couple of months of streaming, we would only go like an hour, maybe hour and a half. In that couple of months, I decided to, instead of just sitting there and streaming, that I went around to all these other channels, and I started asking different people, different random people, hey, come join me for a show, come talk to me, whatever. Oh, what are we going to do? I'm like, I don't care. We can talk about whatever you'd like. If you want a specific topic, pick a specific topic. If not, we can just, ramble, talk, chat, whatever it comes out to be or whatever. And I've been doing this for, just over a couple of years now, and doing the same thing that I've always done. I've seen people come and go. I've seen lots of people come and go because they're like, oh, this is fun. This is cool. This is interesting. This is, something different or whatever. And then they get bored with it. They get bored and they walk away.
Yeah. People flow in and out.
Right. It's because it's the internet. It's the internet. It's so super easily done. The hard one is when you actually do meet those people that you actually, feel that you share something with. And you lose them, and they're gone. And you're like,
yeah, it feels like a good connection.
Where did this, this part of this world go or whatever?
Right.
As opposed to turning around or sitting still and turning around and trying to figure out where it went, you got to keep moving forward.
Yeah,
keep moving forward. That's it. And I've done it so many times. Just continue to strive forward, move forward. Just leave whatever it was.
Flow. It's a flow.
Right.
So if you don't outflow if you don't let things flow in and out, then they won't keep flowing in because you'll be blocking them. So
right, you'll be blocking it by the time. Right, by the time you try turning around, you'll create a bottleneck, and then all of a sudden you'll have a hard time re-getting yourself going again.
Well, it's just like doing a show. It's like I've got it dialed in like a secret, Don't go after viewership. Don't focus after your viewership and stuff. Don't be like, oh, I only have so many views. Be that positive light and just
right. Also, you look over and you'd be like, oh, look, there's 6 people watching us.
Yeah, and just keep.
Cool. How come I'm the only one that's hit the thumbs up button?
Yeah, like this one. I've hit the thumbs up.
Okay, I ask you both a question.
Thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up button.
Oh, it's just 2. Okay, so both myself and Russell have hit that thumbs up button. Out of the 7 people now watching, that's the cool. You just hold the conversation.
Well, thank you, guys. Appreciate that.
We just keep going. We don't focus on those things. We just keep going.
Right. I did.
And if you don't feel like hitting the thumbs up button, there's another button. There's another button if you don't feel like hitting the thumbs up button.
Where did I go?
Or if you're button push-ophobic, that's
Oh,
okay.
you're
if you
right.
don't hit the button
I was
too.
gonna say, where the heck? He's like, I'm just gonna put Cool Frog in the back room. Him. He ain't worth the shit.
Isn't that? I don't
I've
know.
heard
Not too sure how to
stories.
switch things
I've heard
around.
plenty of stories and had plenty of people tell me how it's not fair that I'm on the internet the way I am. It's not fair that I that,
Angle of perception sucks for some
and
people.
anything that I've done or whatever, because I'm a horrible content creator. I'm lazy. Just whatever it be.
Hey,
And I just gonna be like, I'm still gonna continue to be me.
I got you guys so beaten laziness, you guys wouldn't even believe it.
No,
Man, you guys
I'm not
are
going
full
there.
of it.
I'm
You guys
not
are.
I'm like, dude,
You guys are so full of it.
Do you think
I'm an at-home dad.
When I do a show, I don't put it together. Okay, I just jump on like, let's do a show. Okay, I'm going live, and then I'm like, let's put it together as I go. And if it works, it works.
I'm lucky enough that this kid's sleeping through me talking. He's like right here. He's on the bed. The second he decides to wake up, it's going to be, Dad, I want this. Dad, I want that. Dad, there's this. Dad, there's that.
Oh, wow. I see the Blunt Scotsman's in the chat.
Is he in the chat? You got in there?
He sure is.
Well, let me ask you guys a question.
What's up, Squad Bob? Good to see you, brother. Yeah,
Hey, we got Squad Bob in there saying Frog is so awful. His flippers are stuck voting for Trump.
That's so terrible.
With you soon, Blood Scotsman. With you soon. Squad Bob, you are welcome
Thank you,
to spread
Bob.
your kind words. I could read
Squad
the StreamYard.
Squad Bob's a real G.
Yeah, come up in here, bro.
Yeah, Squad Bob's the gentleman who Squad Bob's the gentleman who jumps on Sundays, right?
Yep. Squad Bob's been around for a while.
Okay.
Squad Bob's
the one that's
actually gone to the point of making it be that he's going to make my life 1,000 times easier come here within the next few weeks. He's the one that's actually supported my need for a new rig.
Well, let's support him back. Let's have him in here and give him a nice shout out because he's such a great person.
He's gonna get a couple of them because he'll get a whole box opening and this, that, and the other to go along with it. So,
oh yeah, dude, it's
we put the link is in the chat. The link is in the chat. So if anybody wants to join us, I am more than excited to have you here. Come chat with us. Tell share what you can share. Well, I'm curious. I want to ask you guys both a question.
I want to give you an answer.
Yeah. No. So, Cool Frog, you explained some of the ups and downs of people coming, people going.
mm-hmm.
Probably some shows I've seen you like the viewership get very high. I've seen other shows where it's quiet. And I'm sure everything in between and beyond.
I'm gonna not be one of the 8 people watching here for a moment. So I actually picked up a couple of followers last night. It put me over 751. So I'll have a hashtag thank you for 750 tonight.
Nice, congratulations, brother.
So like yesterday, Operation Paperclip. It didn't really. It actually has a few more views than chapter 10. It's at 247. It's at 247, but most nights, like Saturday nights, derail streams, Friday nights, open mics, those are up at almost 500.
They're off the hook.
Right.
I did my 32-hour stream had almost 700
dependent
views.
on what I'm doing. Now, like, not too far off, which is about right on with what Friday and Saturday was Tuesday nights. It would have been a newsreel, but it would have been Super Tuesday or GOP primary, and then we did the transcript reading. Myself and both of you actually kind of joined me for a little bit or whatever. That one was actually kind of kind of favorable. The people actually like that. They like that.
So what I would like to know, what I'm curious about is like, yeah, there's a lot of talk about how dopamine works, how, people get excited when somebody likes something that they put on whatever app or something like that.
It kicks them endorphins. The dopamines, the endorphins into your brain. It's a chemical
The TikTok
proposition
brain is what they call that.
makes you happy.
They call that TikTok brain.
And so
Well,
I'm just kind of curious, what
mindless scrolling.
what can somebody, what do we do to like weather the storm of kind of that up and down, people like you, people don't like you. Last time we did a show together, and I was a little bit more organized, but the morning show, a different show in the morning.
The one that we did last Friday?
You were talking, yeah, you were talking about
I know how to
kind of being judged a bit in some conversation, where more or less you kind of got labeled as I don't remember exactly what you got labeled as. Somebody who reads the Bible, right? And you're like, okay. I mean, I don't know if that accurately defines exactly what I do, and this seems pretty common, right? Where
I got told several times that Cool Frog's the guy that does the Bible stream, and I'm like, so do you just catch the Bible stream? Because if you didn't if you only caught the Sunday stream, you're going to be you're going to be very sad if you think that that's what I do, because that's not what I do. That's the one show that I do probably the least on, because it's something that I'm not very well versed in. And when it comes down to the rest of the stuff is where I actually kind of is my place, is where I kind of strive with the news and the politics. So if somebody comes in and thinking, there's Cool Frog, he's the guy that does the Bible stream. It's like, yeah, no, I host a Bible stream. It doesn't mean that I know very, very much about it or I'm very well versed at all.
Well, that's interesting too, because go ahead, Russ. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
What?
I thought you were ready to fire some stuff off.
Oh no, I'm go for it. You guys keep talking. I'm listening.
I was just saying that it's an interesting thing that we do. We have just like this small fragment of a picture of something or somebody or some situation, and we fill in all the blanks based on like no information. Yeah, very, very quickly. Very, very quickly.
Borrow other people's judgments, resentments, information, and you'll use it against people.
Or taking taking somebody else's judgment on somebody. Say the second that I met you guys, as opposed to actually just being like, hey, what's up? How's it going? Whatever. Being like, Russell, watch out for AWR. He's a horrible person.
Right, and then all of a sudden, AWR missed that connection because I took your opinion.
Had you just been like, huh? Well, okay.
I have a perfect analogy of this, okay? So when I met my dad, first time ever, 25 years old, everybody in my life had said, don't do it, different. Well, I wanted to meet him for myself and find out for myself, which I did. I ignored everything that everybody else said, but had I heeded their warnings, I wouldn't have got to have the last 7 years, beautiful years with my dad before he passed away.
Right.
It's
exactly.
Another case in point.
You do for you, and do its best for you, but you'll find out what is
people
best.
Pass judgment very quick. I try not to pass judgment.
Sure do.
I keep
because if y'all would have gone around even a week or two before y'all started showing up around by me and started digging around on the stuff that that people were saying about me, you may have actually just drawn a different conclusion and actually been like, never mind, I don't want anything to do with this guy.
Well, I met you through I'll tell you how I actually met you through your show, and I kind of did a bit of elaborating on it. But for me, it was divine timing. You know, the Lord moves me in mysterious ways. You know, God does that with people.
Right.
And you know, it was like I got bored of one topic. You know, searching around, searching for that information to make me feel wholesome, and it's like, okay, I do Rumble a little bit. I had some buddies on some Rumble channels, and I came across yours. It was late at night. I was like, here's the only person late at night streaming right now. I'm going to hop on. Cool frog, cool name. And got on there. And I was like, look at that. Look at his background, listening to you talk. And that was like the same time when I'd first met you. I was making them cool pictures. I showed you them cool frogs I made and had sent them to you. And we just kind of connected right off the bat. And it was just like divine timing where when you flow with it and allow things to happen, they happen much more than when you're trying to be in I guess when you're trying to force things to happen instead of flowing with them symbiotically or naturally.
Right.
I think you might be having some. I don't know if there's like some serious clipping. If that's your mic, Russ, or if that's something that's happening on my end. I'm not too sure. If anybody in the comments would let me know, that would be great. Squaw Bob said. Let me read what Squaw Bob said. He said, "I can't post it. I haven't connected the link yet. I think a lot of times it's just personality. I'll watch folk I know, like, regardless of what they're streaming. And I'm kind of like one of those people too, where I am interested in hearing the perspectives of the people that I'm closer to.
Absolutely.
Friends, family, yeah.
Or even people we don't know. Is nice to get outside perspectives from outside the comfort zone, you know, because that's a really raw, authentic representation of how the world would see you. And, you know, so be open to that as feedback.
And with that being said, may we all give a nice, kind, warm welcome to the Blunt Scotsman. Welcome.
Oh, sweet.
Blunt Scotsman. What's up, bro?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good evening.
That's a really interesting conversation you're having. Forgive them, for they know not what they do.
Not what they do. Yes.
It is so easy. It's so easy to judge at the moment. But really, we know. We are the converted. We know how many layers of psychological control are out there at the moment. So this ghosting, this disingenuous attempt to be genuine when we first meet people and come into circles, very quickly, as Cool Frog was just pointing out, they fall away. You maybe don't see them again. But the ones who do resonate, you find that does become part of your family. I mean, I've been on the internet now for a good many years, and there's still a certain few people that will always check in, hey, from a way back, you know?
Yeah, that's quite amazing. And I'll just put this out there, but if I was away for a while without letting folks know that I'm going to be not popping in and saying hello and stuff like that, if I am just away for a while, probably something very strange has happened. I'm just going to say that probably something strange because, if I decided to not have my phone or kind of go into hermit mode, I'll let you guys know. And it might happen. I do tend to. It's been a while, but in the past, I've put myself in hermit mode more than a handful of times.
But I think it's so easy to be this disingenuous energy. It's easy to disconnect. It's easy not to. I mean, I'd heard earlier on, just when I was finishing my dinner, I heard you mentioning that you'd seen a phone number up for someone to say, listen, if anybody could maybe contact me at a hospital, but even maybe not really knowing this person, you still reached out. That's an individual thing. There's some people who are family orientated, circle bound, understand the nest, get the community vibe. And there's others who have been very easily led to be more self-indulgent, more selfish, more sort of like despairing to that sort of values, and it is a value.
Looks like Planet
Yeah,
Fargo
absolutely.
Awakening over on the YouTube side. Hello, good to see you.
Yeah,
That's me, brother.
Oh, that's you?
That's right.
Why,
You,
do
man.
you why do people have so many names?
you have
I
to.
don't know. That's
Yeah,
what I was
that's
just
You
thinking.
have
about.
to.
I was,
Because it's
I
so
was-
fun. I love
brother.
it.
My chronological order. I'm going to give you it very quickly. When I first came onto the internet, I was the Stargazer. From there, it went to Planet Fargon. Then the Planet Fargon channel eventually got removed. Then I came back onto YouTube as Rogue Waves. Then Rogue Waves turned to Planet Fargon Awakening. And then from that, I had the Inner City Shaman, the Outer City Shaman. So yeah, I need to get rid of them all and just keep it blunt, I think.
Well, here's the thing. You beat part of the algorithms by being different. If you stay the same, it's easier for an algorithm to track you if you're spontaneous.
That's exactly what my psychologist said.
And that's how I do it every day, and that's in my mind every day. That AI will never take control of me because I will create new stuff every day that it can't, because it cannot keep up with me as long as I am riding that wave of creation. It can do all of my past. It can even try and mimic me and pretend to be me, but it will never have that new stuff that I am pumping out.
I think it's important to have a different channel for every archetype that you have, that you encounter.
Good to see you, my friend.
Obi-Wan was late.
I shall forgive and Kenobi.
Obi-Wan is always on time. Right
Yeah, one of my
on
friends,
time.
because my hair's getting so grey, one of my friends started calling me Gandalf the Tartan. I was like, what?
I'm still going with the Highlander, man, because even in the robe, it's still the Highlander.
I'm not a Highlander though. I worked most of my working life in the Highlands, but I'm a Central Belt. But I'm from Glasgow. It's a total part.
No,
different part of Scotland.
the persona, like us growing up as kids in America, we saw like the movie Highlander, and they would like slay the demons and absorb the power.
The quickening. Well, I was trying to test out, play about with Discord to work out how I could get this sort of vibe where people could come on audio and visual chat, and I did a little test run. And the first thing that came into my mind was The Gathering, because you guys are such different individuals that have got so many deep-rooted connections, but you're all in your own vibe, you know. And I like that idea of the collective, of the gathering, because I think it's very welcoming. It's a welcoming word. No, we gather together. I love gathering.
Think of spokes on a wheel. Now imagine when we fill in the rest of the spokes, how fast that freaking wheel is going to spin around, man, because the more spokes you add, the more speed we can attain.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we just keep getting more and more spokes tied to this wheel. You know, good spokes that make this wheel strong. We're going to have a good, strong wheel to roll down this damn mountain by the time we're done.
The bagpipe was the official instrument of my college, Covenant College in Lookout Mountain, Tennessee. Bagpipes.
Heritage, culture, history.
Well, important thing that gentlemen may want to know about the Highlands is that is where the majority of fine Scotch is distilled.
Did I tell you?
I'm
Did
a
I
big
tell you
fan
the
of-
fact? Did I tell you the fact about Scottish whiskey? There is more money in barrels of whiskey that are in the distillery in Scotland than there is gold in the Bank of England. Yeah,
Let's
that's a
talk
lot
about
of whiskey,
gold.
man.
Let's talk about gold. I heard that there
Scotch
was
is whiskey, but not all whiskey is Scotch. All Scotch comes from Scotland.
I heard
Yeah, man.
Gold, right? So
Terrible,
we're talking about
terrible drink.
gold. I heard that there was over 60 military, like what are those C-130 Hercules planes? Filled over 60 of them filled with gold recovered from the Vatican and other places that were stolen, crimes of humanity. That's what I heard. Like over 60 planes worth of gold bars recovered from deep state operations in certain operations that the more people think they're fake, the better that they freaking work. Because that's how a psyops works.
Do you know anybody who eats gold?
Dude, I heard some very interesting facts about gold when I was doing like the Tartarian mud flood research. Gold was actually something that was like in the age of giants, Nephilim. Gold was
one of the original. I'm saying original. Sure. One of the myths involved in what you're talking about is the connection with powdered gold dust and 3 other minerals to make the elixir of life. This drink you could make from natural elements that stimulated a protein in the blood. Back to when you're talking about tall men, hundreds of years old.
Interesting stuff, huh?
Well, it is quite expensive, gold.
Well, for what it's sought after and what it's sought for, but then all of the wars and suppression fought over it. But I mean, enough gold that it was stolen. Like, let's imagine all of the shit stolen from all of the people throughout history. And if that was all recovered, that would ultimately and liberated back to the honest people, that would give everybody enough money that money would never be an issue again. People wouldn't have to worry about it, struggle over it. They could get every damn thing they ever wanted, and still have.
Yeah, and I always have felt as well in a bit of my studies that when it's all about this, and it's all about that, and it's all about these things that are projected to us that are all part of life, then it's nothing to do with any of this. This is just all the sideshow. This is the accumulation of everything that we haven't worked out yet.
To me, life is so much more grand than money will ever be. Money is nothing compared to the vast knowledge and the infinite wisdom of love and light that is available to be had. That, I mean, I might ride these waves of cosmic quantum entanglement like I try to do my best, but man, imagine the stuff that we don't even know yet.
These waves of cosmic quantum entanglement. Wow, man. You know something, right? It just slides off your tongue, man. Well, you're a natural angel, man.
Thank you. I like being a good person. I know what it's like to not see so many good people in the world, and it's my purpose to be that good person that the world deserves to see, because that completes me. That's what completes Russ.
I think what's very interesting about money. I think money is the perfect thing to look at.
Yeah.
The perfect example of an illusion.
Yeah. Well, it's not even an example of an illusion.
Whether it's
in place,
and whether it's gold, whether it's paper, whether it's digital, no matter what form it's in, to me, it's the perfect example of an illusion.
Well, I always love the words.
A lot of people will argue that, you have to have money to do this and do that. Yes, because we are living in an illusion.
Check this out.
There is a grand illusion.
We're the only species on this planet that has to pay to live here. And then it gets real quiet because everybody realizes that.
And it's not even necessarily a have to. It's not even a have to. It's we are involved in the illusion.
And then
we are as a whole
part of this monetary system and being forced to be a part of it. If you don't want to be a part of it, well, we got some bars in a cell for you. It's like, I don't want to be a part of this system ever again, dude. This system is so fucked up, and what it has done to humanity is so fucked up. It's beyond words. I don't want to be a part of the fucking government, fucking anything. It's like, go fight a system in court. Fuck that. No. Go fight a corrupt system with justice that is going to take my justice and sway it against me. Fuck that. It's like if people really knew how bad things were, they would rip every government structure down all over the planet simultaneously in a matter of days, and it would be
Well, do you know
done.
something? That's very interesting that you're saying that. People I've spoken to have mentioned this a couple of times when I've been speaking about dream interpretation and stuff like that, where they'll maybe be in a dream and they'll feel this confrontational point within a dream with a certain person or somebody they know even, but they have found themselves getting to that point in the dream and unable to lash out, unable to make that punch, they find themselves like that. They've got the rage, they've got the anger, but when it comes to that point of actually doing that thing, they can't do it. And it's a deep psychological chemical that's in our brain called DMN. And it's a big, massive reason why there hasn't been a massive uprising.
I'm scared that, yeah, dude. And I'm absolutely astounded that it hasn't happened yet, dude. It's like
because they've dumbed us down too much, and I don't mean that in a horrible way, but they have psychologically
not even just psychologically, through the food, the water, the beauty products, the chemicals. I mean, fucking, there's shit in your deodorant. There's shit. Why is there aluminum phosphate in pancake?
But that's been like that since the 50s, mate. They've been spraying the skies since the 30s. Right? This final psychological capstone event, which is the integration of AI and the integration of AI, and also to make it. Let me finish, and also to make the real unreal. They've done it. That's it. We don't know what to believe any longer. Unless people like ourselves are on here with our big hairy faces, showing ourselves, who's to say that we are real? Who's to say that this isn't an AI generated sort of voice thing? You know?
Right.
So when people have got this already planted indecision, and it's like when we can't decide, and inside you're like, oh, is it this? Is it that? Could it be this? Game over.
But they don't realize, a lot of people don't realize how pre-orchestrated this was for us to be in limbo of, I don't know what's going on. Where do I look? But they like figured that out, that they were going to dish that on us years ago. They're like, oh, we'll just keep them in confusion. And behind the scenes,
about big hairy face.
Look at that beard right there. Did you see that beard, man? That's like,
Oh.
that thing's cool. I wish I could get my beard to grow like that. It just goes.
Dude, this is like 3 years. 3 years to almost to the day.
Bro, that's like, what is that? Like 3 feet? That's killer, dude.
No, I can bury a 12-inch ruler for sure. I could do that a couple months ago.
Nice. Yeah, I can't grow a beard like that. I've tried. It goes curly and starts coming up around the neck, and my hands.
But even just
let me read a few of the comments here. Let me read a few comments. We got Squad Bob chiming in. We have the Free Church of Scotland right here in Georgia, and then he says the bagpipe was the official instrument of my college, Covenant College in Lookout Mountain, Tennessee. Everyone ought to be wearing a kilt. And just quickly, one of the things that was kind of alarming to me and also very out of my element in Scotland was kind of learning about the aggression between the Protestant and the Catholic churches. And there's a lot of animosity, and there's a lot of history behind it that I don't really know about, but a little bit of it was explained at least from the Catholic side.
I'm kind of an odd fellow. So usually, like right around this time of the year, because it's St. Patty's Day, I have the tendency, especially when I was working in the liquor store, or because I could wear my own clothes, I'd wear orange on purpose because it would piss them off. I'm very, very much Catholic, so I just saying.
Okay. The truth. When the truth really.
Well, you got to explain that. You got to explain that because I am
Hear me
You
out.
should explain that. I'm not too sure
The
people will know what the
Protestants
orange thing
wore
is versus.
orange.
Hey,
Protestants wore orange.
it's still much older than that. It's still much older than that. We
No,
can show
it
improvements
is, but
back a long
I
time,
did
but
it
it's
to
still
troll
older than
people
that.
because everybody would always come walking through wearing green, especially when it would come to, St. Patty's Day, because they're like, oh, it's St. Patrick's Day, and it's like they had no clue what St. Patrick's Day even was for it to even matter, but nonetheless, they would still go to the point of wearing green and walking around and spewing their ridiculousness, even though they had no clue what they were even trying to say. They just wanted a green beer because they're American. They had no clue. There is a lot more, like you said, to it. But that's the reason that I wore the orange was because then people would be like, how come you're wearing orange? I'm like, see, you don't understand. You don't understand where the conflict really seriously was between the Protestants and the Catholics.
I mean, we can go much older than that. In 610, the Pope was invented.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Just saying, we can go older than that. In 431,
it's interesting that we bring up such a
Mary was
conversation right
invented.
around St. Patty's Day that this week is whatever. For whatever reason, everywhere you go, it's not even just a day; it's the whole week. You notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day sales are the whole week.
I try not to involve myself in the paganism of holidays anymore.
It's not that I even care about the holiday really. When it comes down to it, it's not something that I really ever thought that I had to pay attention to. But
I didn't even really do Christmas this year.
Just all of a sudden, when you go walk into a store, you see all this stuff, right?
About it. Well, at every level that it's been projected to people in its indoctrination, that obviously works very well for so many people, unless they find out, which most don't. A lot of that stuff is paganism. Even
Right.
you trace it back as old as you can go, and you can still go further. Like, you'd be amazed of how much further you can go when you pull all the lies out and dig deep enough. But
right.
We're talking things that are suppressed. Things that every world government knows. Every single world government, just like a new world order, they're trying to implement as in your face instead of keeping it underground. Just so much things hidden that could have brought humanity in a much, much more beautiful divine state than what we are illusionized to think is freedom right now. And if people knew how bad, like I said, they would rip every government structure down right now. Like, everybody would just stop what they were doing, and they would go to their fucking nearest government structure and start dismantling that motherfucker brick by brick. And they would literally hang the politicians in the street. Like, no fucks given. Fuck your laws. Your laws don't even matter because they suppress the people from the truth.
Right.
And people don't get it. They're like, no, we got to abide by the laws, or we're going to get... No, they could not arrest all of us if we all were simultaneously united in the same goal. There is no fucking way. And if people knew what some of us do know, they quite literally, if we were united in that, well, I tell you, we would be doing some world changing like tomorrow, getting started like today.
Ross, you were mentioning there about paganism, like many other things. A lot of the celebrations and elements that came from worshipping the planet were stolen from paganism, twisted and split and diverse. So unfortunately, it's just one of these things in modern culture. Like mushrooms, paganism gets a bad name. When you go back and start studying a lot of the worshipping on this planet, it's one of the purest forms. But like everything else has been taken, twisted, abused, and made into something else where, in a way, it's looked upon and frowned upon. But a lot of things will get a bad rap.
Divination was in the Bible, and crystals are in the Bible, even talking about the armor of God, right?
Yeah, man.
But most people frown on when you can't go to your church, your local level of church, and talk about shit like that. They'll be like, no, you're not going to be the teacher of the Sunday school anymore.
But you know something? I do actually think a lot of this construction in spiritual and religious terms can be a lot to do with individual spiritualized ego, where maybe at a deeper root of everything, spirituality contains no words. There's nothing to be said.
It's energy, it's telepathic, it's it's vibe, it's energy, period. It's empathic, it's so many things without word, because even language. Did you know that 95% of language isn't even the spoken word? It's tone, energy, and body language.
Which is the reason for such a big, huge disconnect with the features of text on almost everything.
Well, depending on who you are, I can still get empathic vibes and tone and energy through text, believe it or not. Most people think I'd be full of shit saying that, believe me. But a lot of times I can pick right up on somebody's tone and energy, no matter how they send it. You know, I'm very empathic to energy with people, so it's easy to read. Not always. I mean, I'm blonde.
Well, do you know which monks? You know which monks I think are the holiest of the holy, or the most spiritual?
Tell us. You gotta tell us.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. Any interest here?
You didn't say yes.
The ones that work at the distilleries.
Did you know that alcohol we can talk about alcohol, and it's spell casting with spirits that keep your vibration low.
It's the play in words also. I could tell you about a devoted man, but yeah, it would need to be a private chat.
We'll have some of those. I'm sure we will. I like you, my friend.
You could, otherwise you're on YouTube, so.
Yeah, no, it's best kept around a table with, yeah.
Oop, I gotta step away.
Vonkular Micah on YouTube says, "Happy Friday, gents. Happy Friday to you as well. I hope that it is." I hope Friday means fun for a lot of people, and that means that they get to they have earned enough social credit points to enjoy a weekend without some of the shackles on, and make the most out of that.
Yeah, as far as Fridays go, it's always been something that from my past that always just kind of like I had to always feel like Friday was like oh sweet, the work week is over.
Yes.
Screw that. If
I know
when you take yourself. And that's where your point is, that you're like, oh, okay, the work week's over now. I can finally rest and relax for the week. If you're actually feeling that way, your daily grind is wrong. It's just wrong for you. It's just wrong. You find 100%. Something that you enjoy doing, so that way when you get to Friday, it's not that, oh yes, I get this great feeling that I'm stress free for a few days before I have to go back to work. No.
Yes, I agree with you.
Stop working the bullshit jobs.
I've had this conversation with someone, mate. 100% agree with you. And it's the bad management of your week and your working maybe environment that you have to have this thing to look forward to. But I've always loved that play in words again also about a weekend. It's a weekend to the week, because you've wasted your whole week looking forward to this thing that may never come.
About the structure of words in the days.
we're talking about the weekend and looking forward to a Friday and sort of like letting it all go, and that being your goal to your working week of this point of relaxation, where you could implement relaxation into every single day and maybe elevate at the weekend.
So I heard that dates, including Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, has also got very deep-rooted occult ties for a very long time. Time is a construct. We all know that daylight savings time was an invention. If you vibrate high enough, you'll realize that time is just merely a construct of the mind. I mean, in levels, yes, but I mean, in a quantum setting, you have the ability to flow and manipulate through time without being affected so much by time.
Wow, there's a little choppy.
There's just a thing that came up yesterday or whatever that Congress had gone through and did a committee or whatever did something where they debated about changing the federally mandated work week of 40 hours down to 32 hours. Seriously. They talked for a couple hours about this.
We should just remove Congress 100%.
I'm like, really? You just talked to a couple hours about trying to change the federal mandate from 40 to 32? There shouldn't be a federal mandate of how many hours I can and can't work a week.
We should citizen arrest the entire federal government and go in with excavators and dig up the fucking tunnels underneath their buildings. Why
you always trying to go after the Jewish tunnels, man?
No, we'll go after the whole damn thing, and then you'll find out how interconnected they are. And I mean, most people, the end ain't for everybody. The ending for everybody. I tell you that right now. I'm going to step out and have a smoke, though. I'll be back. I'm listening.
He's listening. I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen with him. What's going on, Manakoa?
How can we reel him back? How can we get him running back in? What do we need to talk about that will get him just charging in instantly?
We could tell him how bad cigarettes really are. He probably doesn't care.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
I think that if we talk about the pineal gland and its ability to literally act as what we would kind of call a black hole or a wormhole, and we could use this point within us to traverse space and time. I think that we might get him back in here running, and he doesn't want to smoke. Maybe. But I think I
can still finish my cigarette and think about that.
I haven't even started it yet. Right now, I'm trying to figure out how do I log into this on my phone, but I'm trying to get into my Discord messages, right? And then I'll just log into my phone outside and show you what a beautiful day I got going on here. I'm just trying to figure that out, and then I'll go smoke.
It can be
your guy's son is coming up. My sun's going down.
Sun's coming up. I mean, it's noon for me anyway.
So where am I, man? It's nearly 7 o'clock here. That's almost noon at where you guys are. I thought you guys were 9 hours behind me.
Yeah, no, it's Friday hasn't even started yet. It's only noon.
Yeah, I really thought you guys were 9 hours. So you guys are on the East Coast.
I'm 10:53 a.m. in the morning.
Right, I'm 11:53. I'm Mountain.
Mountain Standard Time.
You know, with my I'm talking
It's actually Mountain Daylight Time now
with
because
my
they
microphone off.
just changed their stuff within the last.
Oh boy! You know, I was wondering why you guys keep ignoring me, and then I realized that my microphone's not on. I was gonna start crying.
Boomer.
So we got. Can you read Squab? Oh, so Squab says, "I use my pineal to spy on the Scots all the time. It's amazing how many Scots carved up peat today. My only understanding of peat is that it is something that's used sometimes to make. I don't know if all the time or not, but to make whiskey, to make scotch.
It's used as a burning material, and you can also build houses with it.
Now we have somebody in the chat, and I'm not too sure who it is, and it's oh boy. So we're gonna go ahead and test the waters here. Are we ready?
What are you doing?
There's someone. I'm sorry. There's someone on the stage who I'm not sure who it is.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
And we are going to invite him on the stage and see what's going on.
Let's go. Let's
give
do
it a
this.
try. All right, let's give a kind and warm welcome to oh boy.
Oh boy.
Hello.
Well, that worked.
Oh boy.
Was that a scam?
Hi, I'm here to contact you about your vehicle's extended car warranty.
What a beautiful day, man.
Yeah, it's pretty here. I love it here. Washington's a pretty place.
Man, I thought you were a troll, dude. I was all excited.
No, it says oh
trigger.
boy on. Funny story. Last time I got on a podcast on my phone, it was with Cool Frog, and this was like the 10 attempt day where it took me 10 times to get on his show, and finally when I did, it was on this phone, and I haven't changed the screen name since.
Can I just tell you, AWR? See that thing that I posted up there? It's either Pete in the Bog or Heather in the Glen. That was a thing that was passed on to my granddad from maybe his father or so, that when they were maybe out drinking and came across some people who were maybe like classified as homosexuals. And this is what they would say: it's either Pete in the Bog or Heather in the Glen. It's a very old-fashioned, passed-on thing. Like men are men, women are women.
Yeah. Chromosomes don't lie. And gay and, trans people still are dependent on straight people to procreate. So, and
Brother,
chromosomes.
I went out with a chromosome for 2 months, and all she did was lie.
That happens.
Like, people can say what they want, but they're only lying to themselves and then trying to convince other people. It's like, well, whatever.
Is that your cage?
Now,
You lock yourself
this
in
is
at
interesting too.
Yeah, how does your cage looks nice on you?
Yeah, that's a nice fit.
When you've already been whacked over the head, several times, you could get pushed in any direction. You could get rolled across the street, whatever. And if you've done any, even just a small amount of studying and understanding how a psychological operation takes place, you'll see that there is, in my mind, undoubtedly a massive psychological operation, and there is, in my belief, there is in fact a mass formation psychosis, and
Oh
it
yes.
continues to happen.
Yeah.
It met a peak in what was being called the COVID pandemic, the flu/cold pandemic. It met a peak. It came to a peak, and when peoples in general are bent to agree with something that is completely unreal and unfounded, vulnerable, and then it's a ripe time for wicked people to want to take advantage of this confusion and push it farther for a very specific agenda.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point that they legalized propaganda is where it started. So, now that you have legalized propaganda since what was that, the Smith-Mundt Act? Or
Yeah,
whatever.
and legal or not, they don't care whether it's legal or not.
Right.
They do not care legal or not legal. Again, it's important to consider why it was legalized. Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely, 100% agree with that.
See, I think a major problem is that for generations and generations, when our natural, what we recognised of rights were deprived from us, when ambiguous ideology was then made available as not only a choice but could be a right. This is something you can have as a right. There's rights for you. You can attach yourself to those rights. All these other rights that we've deprived you from for decades and decades and decades, they're gone. Forget about them. But there's something you can have, and I think many people who were in a state of psychological manipulation and distress with this ongoing fear factor that creates a hypnotic effect that they use as psychologists to break through certain people's addictions, anxieties and depressions. They use this consistent energy that can put people in a chemical overload in their brain. And it's a direct chemical that I've spoken about before. It's DMN. You need to go and look this up. And what it actually literally does to our reflex, our fight or flight response, it causes a thing called lateral thinking. So yeah, man. We all need to heal.
Yeah. And if my audio is bad, and somebody put it in the private chat, my audio is bad, I do apologize. I am kind of on the road and
It was
making a
dropping
mess
out
of
a couple of
things.
times.
So, okay. So, if I didn't make a point, it's not because I'm a bumbling idiot. It's because my audio, man. That's why. Thank you.
It's the universe, man.
I don't know where Russell gone. He somehow. Yep, it's the universe. Totally.
But yeah, I was wondering because Cool Frog always tries his best Scottish accent when he says it's the blunt Scotsman. But maybe up here. Could I hear your Scottish accent?
My Scottish accent?
Yeah.
Oh wow! So my Scottish accent, eh? Let's
What would you
try
say?
to get a little Scottish
what
with
would
it.
you say?
God damn it, boys! Fucking pass me the ball. Every fucking weekend. Goddamn getting ganjering around.
You've got
the goddamn.
You've got the vocabulary. You've got the words great, but we can work on your accent.
Yeah, I gotta
Oh.
be in the. I gotta get into it. Some of
I'll tell you
my
something really
funnest
funny. I'll tell
Scottish.
you just very quickly. I'll tell you something
Yeah,
really funny.
Are you
And
leaving Russell
this
backstage
is
for a reason?
bloody hell!
this
Where
is
is he?
this is this is this is true,
Since
right?
I'm back
See
in,
when
let me back
when
in.
I use my normal voice to ask for anything into Google search, you don't get it. It doesn't pick up the way that I would speak normal Scots or English. For me to get things in Google search, I need to do an American accent, and as soon as I do an American accent, it picks it up instantly.
I got a way around that.
Can we hear your American accent, please?
So if I was going to do a Google search, if I was going to do a Google search for, let me just see, and we'll get some an explanation. Right, so if I was going to do a Google search for,
Say chicken pot pie recipe.
if I was going to do it in Scottish, I would say YouTube, Interstellar inspired emotional cinematic ambient music. So I would say Interstellar inspired emotional cinematic ambient music. And it would maybe only give me a couple of the words. I wouldn't get what I want, and I would need to say Interstellar inspired emotional cinematic ambient music, and I would get it.
there's a way around it.
Racist.
So there's actually a way around that. So when I use my chat GBT with my image generator, because sometimes I talk with Tourette's, dude, I'm trying to create and I'm like, but isms, and it still will pick that shit up, dude. And it'll give me way better information and source links than Google will.
Morning light radio. Morning light radio. Good morning from Morning Light Radio. I'll get it, no problem like that. But use my normal voice. They do not pick up the Scottish accent. Let me just see if I can get this really funny clip, man.
That's such a bollocks, I tell ya. Such a pint on the arse.
Silence.
The sound of
I was actually just picking a clip up. I'll paste that for you, AWR. If you'd like to put that clip up, and this will explain what I mean about a Scottish accent. And this is just a thing. I don't know why they haven't programmed their machines to pick up.
I can't play any clips.
Oh,
I can't play any clips. If you want to, if you want to present, because I'm in my car.
How can I present?
But if you
if you can open up the present,
see if it will let you present.
Oh, hello, little present. Video file. Click on video file.
Most definitely. I'm a man of many accents.
Keep rocking and rolling. If you don't hear me very well, I'm kind of in an area where I'm getting a little bit of difficulty even hearing anything.
Are you running your StreamYard off of your phone?
I am.
That's pretty cool.
I am. And I'm in a little area where I'm kind of not a great reception.
Well, I can hear you, and it's.
But in the meantime, trying to get the prep dog. I'm going to read a few of Swab Bob's chats. He said, not too sure when, probably a little while earlier. I've been studying up on intersex recently, like folk who have androgen insensitivity syndrome from the womb. It's maybe 1% of the population. They basically look most like women because only the estrogen gets through, but they have testes. It's not a thing they do to themselves. Okay, this is interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are.
Oh man.
There's a lot of chemicals. You'll
I'm really
notice there's
kind of
there. You notice that
concerned on why I needed to know that information.
Yep, I didn't need to know that.
well, it sounds like you don't need to know that.
Listen. I think collectively we'd like to ask you,
I'm glad that you taught me.
Is there something you need to tell us? Just tell us, man.
Don't be shy. We are a very open-minded group.
I mean,
We
I
are.
understand
Are we?
that's a
Open-minded group?
percentile. I understand
Are
that's a
we?
1 percentile chance, so it's a delicate situation, but that's not a situation I want to dive into particularly with my thoughts.
There's a couple open-mindedness things that people think that we all have that I'm not so sure that I have.
Yeah, well,
I'm
I was told
open-minded enough
I was
to hear what you have to say.
Why would you want to know what I have to say?
It's fun.
Could that person still?
It makes me laugh.
Could that particular 1
Sometimes
percentile
makes me cry.
Could that particular 1 percentile of person still be a spiritual person and uplift themselves in their own journey, or would they choose an agenda to project some certain things into people's faces?
You know what? I don't think it's giving us that much information.
I think that I am so open-minded that my brain just fell out there.
Yeah, dude. I was like drawing blanks, dude, like Tweety birds.
I am egoless.
Yeah, I have no response for that.
Yeah. I am
That is
not
a response, but
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not in service of
Yeah,
ego anymore.
can I ask everybody? Can I ask everybody with the word that finishes less? What are you less? What are you less? So the word that finishes with less. What are you less?
Huh?
Like I'm fearless.
Same.
Oh.
It's like my journey is between me and God. So if it's right between me and Him, then nobody else means fuck all, dude.
Because you know something, there is nothing else. There's nothing that's less. There's nothing that's less that's attached to fear that gives you the opposite of what less means. So when you've got the word fear, oh my God, when you've got the word less, terrible. Put those two together. You see, those two dynamics, they say don't work. This is the quantum field. It needs to be negative, positive. It needs to be yin and yang. It needs to be the duality of life. There's this singularity thing that goes on within the quantum field that elevates everything. As Russ talks about the higher vibration.
Well, it's like that word in itself. It keeps it compartmentalized in a box.
Oh, I would need to get my dictionary for that. Arguless. Is that a word?
Oh, even fearless. Fearless puts a label on what it is.
We can just make words up, though. I like making words up.
Me too.
Squad Bob says, I'm not arguless. I think you just proved yourself wrong there.
Argumentalism.
Can I be omniless?
You just looked that
Can
up.
I be omniless?
You just looked that up. Is that a word also?
I don't think that. I would doubt that's a word.
So
right,
if I did look it up,
that's it. Everybody on screen, let's see your hands. Step away from the keyboard. Less.
You know what? That would be cool. We could
if you go to Google though and you put in words that end in less, so then you get bottomless, careless, aimless, colorless, plackless, basementless, brainless.
I've got a better idea. You could look up as far as words go.
There's not many.
There's not many at all, man.
There's not many. Defenseless, agendaless, expressionless, boneless, endless, airless, blameless, breezeless, beardless, effectless, breathless, meaningless, StreamYardless, boundless, and comfortless. That's the only ones that it actually has listed.
You
And
can
I
put less
actually,
on anything.
I meant this to be a little less than it is. Also,
I would almost think
Hey,
though that you'd
hey,
be able to add
I
that to
didn't think
almost so many
I got a
other
better search.
words.
I got a
Yeah.
better search on words. Look up language of increase and language of decrease.
No,
That's energy.
No,
That's
no,
vibration. That's
no,
quantum.
no. My life is short.
I don't have time for that. Yeah, see,
No,
countless,
not
stainless,
not today.
doubtless, powerless, worthless, pointless, limitless, priceless, senseless, fruitless,
Endless.
careless,
Like
endless, without end,
endless
selfless,
tyranny.
generous for helping others without being so focused on oneself, selfless.
Selfless is a good one.
Supercalifragilistic
I would like to
Yeah.
harness
Flawless.
all the words that would lead
flawless,
people
cool
to
frog.
believe
Flawless.
that I am an
Welcome,
outstanding
welcome
human.
to Cool
Cool
Frog.
man.
The flawless. I'm just kidding.
Magnificentless.
What?
Ooh,
Penniless.
is flogless a word?
Oh, you StreamYard.
Moneyless.
Is flogless a
We
word?
need to
Yay
teach
or
you how to
nay?
use some of your.
I think so.
Huh?
Flagless.
Flogless?
Flogless, yes.
Why are you not
Well-
flogging?
Exactly.
And it's not by choice. I'm flogless, and
See,
it's not by choice. That's all I got to say about that.
I knew he
I
wanted
think
to
there's a
talk
choice.
about
There's always a choice.
What
You
is
just not
flogless?
taking out.
What does flogging even mean?
Helpless, priceless,
Just
useless,
not hanging around
flogging
the
mean?
right crowd, huh?
hopeless, restless, harmless,
It's
harmless.
like people who like to hang about foggy weather. They're like floggers and write
That's
about
what I
it.
thought. That's
Like blogging
what
in the
comes into
fog.
my- Yeah, that's my mind.
Fruitless is an oxymoron.
So this is still real life.
Yeah.
How
Just
real are we
realized we're
talking?
gonna make it. I mean,
Just checking, man.
Painless? That would be a good one. I wish I had that one.
how
Yeah,
about
man.
vibrationless? Some people feel vibrationless. Like my government feels vibrationless. It does not suit me anymore. It is an oxymoron to have government.
Now, here's an interesting question because I think this kind of correlates with this whole, name your less thing. Is do you see yourself one way and met and have other people who are relatively close to you that may not agree with how you identify yourself?
Who's that to? Anyone? Everyone?
Open question.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I got stuff that's in my brain that people don't agree with all the time, forever.
I mean, I think that was one of the first things that I said was just like, yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not like the rest of these people in this room.
My dad had it right before he passed away. He's like, "Son, I love you, but you sure are a weird kid." I says, "Well, that's what makes me me."
As I'm flipping through words that end in less, and the fearless come up, and this particular it's just it gives you a sentence. It says Chloe loves to go skydiving. She's absolutely fearless, and I'm like, Chloe loves to go skydiving without a parachute. Then she's fearless. Until then, she's still wearing a parachute.
She's courageous.
I want to go in a wingsuit, but at the same time, my body's so beat up. That's an old dream that will die.
Yeah, right.
'Cause, I mean,
As you'd end up motionless eventually.
yeah, or shoulderless, or hipless, or backless, or headless.
Headless Russ.
That's dangerous.
It's all good though, because if you land in the sand, You just
Well, then
get
it's
basically buried,
Yeah.
embedded into the sand
You just turn it
from the neck down.
then it's adventure.
Manakoa, to answer your question, almost everybody I know, yeah, I would say this. Almost everybody I know, they think they know what's best for me. So they don't agree what I do or how I'm doing it.
Been there, done that, brother.
Well, it's like nobody will understand a situation until you walk a mile in somebody's shoes. And most people at that point in time realize, well, fuck, I wouldn't make it. So I better not judge somebody if you're lucky enough to see it that way. Because everybody goes through their own angle of perception, their own walk of life. And we can only understand at certain levels of our own perception, which so understanding really at the core of it is only a booby prize of life. Understanding.
I just think sometimes in certain elements, when certain choices are presented to you, not a choice for you to make, but presented to you, that's not an option.
Right. That's a life path. That's part of what defines us as we get older and we start to realize those things. You know, it's things that we go through, yes, that are beyond our control, but it is how we handle those things, those very things in those moments that define who we are. Because believe me, life has been happening to me my entire life, and it is.
But as far as the context of where this is sort of went with what Manako was saying in the question about the less thing, yes, mate, it can make you feel less because you want to feel connected and understood, and at least have some sort of autonomy to your own life choices and things. So when you maybe have certain friends or family in your whatever circle of people that know you, that sort of put that sort of vibration on you, it can affect people's psyche and stuff like that to their own self-confidence, which relates to their creativity, which is a direct link to your imagination, which is a link to.
But at its core, those things are only aligning you universally to if you want to be authentic and you're in places that don't serve you, it's only the universe telling you it. It's allowing you to realize that. So then, brother,
that's retrospect. That's hindsight. That's outside the situation when you're enveloped in that sort of energy. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, you know, but that's obviously some sort of transitional point. You'd eventually meet yourself and be able to explain it to yourself in that sort of context. Right. You know, but I get your question. I think it's a very deep question also, because many people find themselves ostracized of their own thoughts, and we find ourselves self-checking ourselves before we can speak at work, speak in a family gathering. You don't want to upset the balance or the dynamics of, you know.
I do that too. So like I'll stand back and I'll be observant, you know. So the more I'm observant, instead of trying to speak my mind before, you know, I realize that I might not be in a situation or a place where it's ready to be spoken, you know, so then I just sit back and observe. There's always a time and a place to be spoken.
Sometimes it's kind of hard to sit back and just observe. Sometimes
you're absolutely right, but it's like
you're compelled. You must because you understand what they're actually saying, that they're wrong in so many levels.
But that's
whatever it is that they're saying, that the compulsion to speak up is necessary to correct that.
In those moments in themselves, though, the words are clear because you have clarity in your mind. But it's in the moments that are opposite of those moments where the unsure lies, it's better off to stay observant until you hit that point. You're like, poof, epiphany. Yes, I must speak up now. And those are the times that usually your words come out correct. Like in everybody, it doesn't matter, because you're coming from a heart space that is supported by your mind, not your mind unsupported by the heart and unclear. So it's like a lot of people will use words without, you know, being careful of the thought process before they do the execution, you know, and then they realize, oh fuck, you know. But being observant, and then you start to pick up on things to where you're like, oh, dude, this resonates with me. Okay, I must say something, whether it resonated you, triggered you, whatever it is, but it something within yourself or myself, for example, wow, that okay, I gotta jump in here, unmute. Okay, I gotta say something. I gotta say something, you know. But at that point, I realize that I have that clarity to say that. Or even if I don't, I come at it in an approach where I want to be like, well, this is how I feel, but I would like more information before I'm just like, da, 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 da. You know, it's like, well, I feel one way, but I would like clarity. I always like to get clarity.
Right. I like to go about it, you know, like different ways or whatever. Just kind of like my mom won't listen to me about most of the stuff. Oh, we lost the host. My mom won't listen to me about most stuff, whatever, when it comes down to it, or whatever. So it's like I'll just wait for her, you know, do you know, special placements or whatever, where she, you know, she'll say, oh, you know, like the other night I talked to her or whatever, and she said so and so had passed, and I said, "Oh, that's too bad." I said, "What did he pass from?" And she said, "Oh, it's some rare form of cancer or whatever." Blah blah blah. I'm like, another one, huh? And she's like, "Yeah, there's so many of them recently." And I'm like, "Yeah, isn't it kind of amazing on the percentage increase or whatever since certain particular things were taken or whatever?" And she's like, you could hear it in her or whatever. That thought process just you know, like totally took her to the next level. She's one of those that's like total default, that's what she, you know, intended to do, and we need to do or whatever, this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, nope,
So it's like,
I'm not with it, you know, type thing. But
a lot of people still question a lot of things. So the thing that I can do is I can intrigue, inspire, and I can captivate, you know. And then when people at that level, you know, instead of me having to cram truth down people's throats, if they are captivated and inspired by certain things that the truth is embodied in, amongst other things that I do in a creative, inspiring, captivating way, it allows people to slowly be in those moments to where they can kind of peek and uncover and peer slowly, pieces at a time, and start to realize for themselves not only how to find that information, but how they can find it for themselves.
And anybody that knows me, yes, for the first time,
thing,
first time in about 2 years, I actually did talk to my mother.
Yep. I've my buddy in the UK, same thing. He had a chat with his mom, same similar circumstances, you know, and then just to come to find out all the things behind the scenes that my buddy Coops knows, and talking with his mom, and she's like, "Wow, and now she's intrigued. Now she's super intrigued. She's captivated, and now Coops gets to inspire, but slowly. But it's like, yes, we get to save another one, you know, another one we get to save." That's why I do it, man. It's not for any fame or glory, man. It's just I like to be like a lighthouse, man. I'll project my light so that I can let others see through the darkness. And knowing how dark it is, knowing what I know, it's like I want to shine as bright as I can. You know, I want to make my footprint in the world, like feel my ripple, you know, not for any fame or anything, but just so that the world has a shot at humanity.
Did you guys feel the ground move there?
Did you feel it there?
Yep. He said, "Feel my ripple," and the ground shifted.
Well, it doesn't ever shake at the epicenter, right? It just only ripples outwards. I guess where you throw the stone in the pond, it makes the impact, but the shake and the waves come after. But
it'd take a few minutes yet before it hits you.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's like I have a vision of how the world could be in my mind, and I would love to help inspire it to be just that. And what I have in my mind versus what it is are two very, very different things. You know, we have all the possibilities and capabilities, the love, light, and energy, and good people that could push that forward, but so many things in place that just keep those structures.
Oh, we lost the host again. It's our show now.
But yeah, it's you know, I see the world in my mind could be so much more of a beautiful, divine, just absolutely resilient place of love, light, energy, unconditional humanitarian love, you know, for people, for your neighbor, for everyone. It doesn't have to be hate. It doesn't have to be the ego, the constructs and the consortiums of the mind. It could be so much better than that, but there's so many structures in place that have kept people in illusion in what they deem as reality, which is completely the opposite. Just so many things suppressed, so much information hidden, people censored from being allowed to share that information, and it's always been a fight for a lot of years. It's not just something that's been in the last 5-10 years. I mean, guy that invented the water car, I'm sure any inventor, invented technology that would help humanity. I got told when I was 12 I wanted to make crops that are basically hydroponic crops that can be self-contained, and I wanted to keep
you shoot your eye out, kid.
They were like, yeah, they'll kill you if you try and do that. And it's like, well, it's not far from the truth. It's like anybody that either wants to come forward with the truth has been shut out or down or worse. Anybody that has like homeopathic stuff has been driven into a closet, and it's all medical in your face. That's part of the Rockefeller crap, the whole medical fucking. There's so many patents that are hidden that have medical healing technologies. We have free energy technologies that are hidden.
Did you listen to chapter 11 last night?
I actually got some sleep last night.
You slept last night. Good for you.
Yeah, I did. It was good.
I read chapter 11 in Operation Paperclip, and it was kind of interesting to actually see how many inventions actually came out of all these scientists in Germany. You're like, wow, it's an amazing amount of things that they invented to actually, create it.
When I asked my AI image generator to pull up all of the MK Ultra patents that are used on the American people by patent number and with a description, I mean, it had stuff going back as far as the 40s. And I mean, it was a very extensive list. So, and then I started taking individual patent numbers and turning them into images being used against a Pepe frog with like a We the People tone to it, I'm like, okay, well, let's take the patent number and we'll copy that in text and I'll throw it right over that picture. And like, here's the truth in your face. And it's realness. And I could do that on 100 million different levels. I mean, we were me and the Blunt Scotsman were getting my AI image generator to talk about GHCQ, and I mean, I could put that information into an image and throw it there's so many different ways I'm learning how to utilize the tools that are used against us as weapons against the very systems that are in place to keep us complacent. With an image generator. You're muted, Scotsman.
A lot of my family and friends wish they could just mute me.
Same. That's
talk with them online more often.
I was just saying there before I was unmuted, what a wicked web they have weaved when they have set out to deceive.
Oh, yes. You should send me that in text. You should send me that a text, and I'll make a nice poem rhymed on that.
It's Shakespeare, I think.
Yeah. Maybe I can take little blips and I can create and expand in my own way on some really. Well, I've got some.
Not sure if it's the Scottish play or.
I was playing with some cool stuff last night. You seen the stuff I sent you in Discord this morning, I'm sure.
Aye.
That was some pretty cool stuff. I said, turn Q into a mathematical equation and then add Christ consciousness, tones, and energy to it, and create it in the description of a stained glass window. And that's how those whole big old long, it started coming up with all of the information.
So it's from
quite opposite and contrary to what I was looking for, but it was really good information.
It is Shakespeare. And the quote is, oh, what a tangled web we weave when we first practice to deceive.
That's deep.
You know that Shakespeare had a lot to do with writing
Yes, I do.
the King James
Yes,
Bible and stuff. It's fun,
with the
fun and games, man.
Rosicrucians,
Fun and
with the
games.
with the Knights Crusades. I mean, like I used to watch the Curse of Oak Island too. They talked about a lot of that history too. I love that show. But yeah, same thing. A lot of Shakespeare stuff wrapped up in the symbology too. Same thing, you know, in the writings and the oh yeah, buddy. That conspiracies like you wouldn't believe. Well, you do. I know.
Yeah.
We know, but the projection of what the truth is on the people versus what the actuality is. So truth in itself, what is that? Truth is what's projected to hide what is really there, or is because that's the way that truth's pushed around these days. Right? Here's the truth, but to hide the grand scheme of things in itself.
I think that the truth is what the government tells you.
Well, the government's full of
yeah, of course.
Yeah, totally what the government tells you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're totally full of shit. Like 100% full of shit.
All hail Joe Biden.
That's why that's why we all chose Rumble.
Yeah. I mean, just in this day and age that we're simply allowed to have these very conversations that we've been having, especially us in this group, right? Like that we've been having. Those have been problematic for so many people for so long to have on any other platform. I mean, you'd be talking about this for 5 minutes and goodbye. Yeah. Like one word, like 5 minutes in, and we'd be like, algorithm taken over, slingshot engaged, show deactivated. I mean, and it still goes on. I mean, shit. Everybody gets bans, everybody like for exposing the truth, but it doesn't stop us. I guess the only way I'm going to stop, you know, my path of my learning and letting people know what I've learned in my head, I guess, is when that black Suburban parks out in front and they come kicking the freaking door in. It's like, well, okay, I guess I'll let them know. I'll be like, I'm going to be going somewhere for a minute. I'll let you know what happens at some point in time from somehow, some way. Or I won't, and I didn't hang myself, you know. Like,
well, everybody I know comes to the back door, comes to the door where the garden is. If anybody comes to the front door, it's not good news.
Yeah, right. It won't end well. It won't end well.
No, the front door doesn't get used. No, man.
Right. Well, it's like my apartment that we're coming into. If they come in through the sliding glass door, I know some shit's going down.
But you know, man, we got that armor.
Right.
The armor could cover quite a distance too.
Yeah. Well, we'll end it at that topic. I won't go into the nitty gritty of how I would be prepared to handle that situation.
He's like, other than that,
there would be a mess. There would be a mess to clean up.
But I mean, you showed a lot of the patents the other night. They don't need to come and get us because if they ever really wanted to, they can see us, they can hear us, they know exactly everything we're doing. So they don't need to
anyway.
You know?
Yeah, they already do. They already know. They listen. They hear everything. It's all digital. It's all digital information stored on an NSA server.
Don't tell them that we know.
Well, they know.
Yeah.
We know.
So
they're just upset because they're just upset.
They're upset that we know.
Yeah, they're booty tickled. Yeah, it's like why we make memes about the FBI being all sad because you know they see all of our memes of truth and they can't join the big boy club. Like, yeah, FBI agents getting all sad and depressed because they see truth memes all day and that's what they have to suppress. Oh, sorry about your feelings. 3 agency lettered liar faces, government liar faces. And we've all seen court hearings, right? They just stand up there and be like, I don't have the authority to answer those questions. And it's like, why are you even here? And you get the next guy, I don't have the authority to answer that. And it's like, all you do is get to run around when you want the real answers. Or you have fake reports, false news, false narrative. And billions of dollars spent on media outlets to feed us bullshit. Funded
just
by
thinking about what
yeah.
we read the other day with Cool Frog. I meant
Operation
hours of
Paperclip. Yeah.
no, not that one. The
The Robert Hur stuff.
yeah. I mean, what a joke! Come on, what a
Mhm.
joke! This was not an investigation. This has no sign of investigating in any of that conversation we had. And
Clean
it
your house,
seemed like
bro.
he was actually. It even seemed like he was leading to get specific answers.
It's like I
Yeah,
saw.
he really was. He was kind of he, it really wasn't what you would assume an investigation would have. It really seriously kind of turned to the point where I'm like, okay, never mind. This isn't doing anything that I thought was really going to go and say. I thought it was going to be a lot better than what it was, but it was still fun and it was worth worth going through because of what it was. But to
It was
understand how
definitely
worthless,
fun to do and to participate in. That was definitely fun. It was just ridiculously. It's just what goes to what Russ was saying. It's just a joke. It's just theater. There was nothing to that whatsoever. And I'm glad that we did a thorough investigation to see if there was anything about it. And no, there was nothing about it.
but they still want to kind of push that there was something about it, even though there wasn't. It's like, well, wait a minute.
Well, here's the thing that they're going to push it 155 more times, and it's still going to be the same bullshit. We're still not getting to the core of what the fuck is really going on. It's just smoke and mirrors to cover up. Let's say the government. We know governments had free energy technology since they fucking took all of the Nazi scientists. You look up all the patents that they own. Skunk Works, Lockheed Martin uses information, but that's through a public's eye. Let's go through like black site government contracts that contract stuff that you don't know about, like 0-point energy, anti-gravity technology that they make craft. It ain't UFOs, man. They fucking got government built craft that they use to traffic children. Yes. That's a fact. But we ain't getting that free energy technologies, to run your house. No, I'm sure the power companies have switched to free energy technology and still charge people for a utility bill. I'm almost convinced thoroughly of that, because they talked about a free energy generator that you could transfer into the power line transmission, and it wouldn't even have any overlap. You wouldn't even get a flicker, and they could go switch to free energy. Nobody'd ever know, and then they could just freaking charge people for it. And I wouldn't be surprised if every power company has done that. But under the guise and lipstick fucking on a pig shit, we're still operating on the systems that we do. It's like I also know the space shuttle technology is an absolutely outdated joke, smoke and mirrors, just how much money is wasted on NASA every year for green screens and bullshit. Aided and abetted by the government's propagated lies. I mean, whoever fucking don't think the government lies ought to fucking take a real hard look in the mirror.
What? The government lies?
When don't they lie? Never. Fucking never.
Okay, I said I have an open mind, but it's not that open there, buddy.
He said we're all the same.
So if you tell 80% of the truth to cover up 20% of the lie, you're still lying. So it's like I give a fuck what any politician says at this point in this juncture, man. Fucking bring it all down. Bring all of the old world structures down. Because we all got fucking duped even harder than anybody could fathom.
Yeah, they're waiting on that. They are prepared. They're doing that themselves.
Well, because people haven't realized it has given them time to tool up against that very thing happening of us uniting and tearing down the old world structure. It's why they labeled us as terrorism. If we go after the government, you could fight them in courts, but they manipulate your honest words against you to sway you into guilt. That's their word system based on Black's Law and all of their other bullshit, based on maritime admiralty law. You know, your birth certificate, your chattel, your social security number, that red number on the back of your social security card's tied to a Fidelity bank bond that's traded on your strawman account that is like got maybe 20 different corporations on the stock market trading your information since the day you were born for probably billions of dollars by whatever age you are now. But you don't get access to that. We live in oppression, bro.
Yeah, man. Preach it, man. Preach it, man.
We fucking sit here in oppression while the government fucking steals our life from us and sells it back to us under the illusion of freedom.
Our life source, our soul, our dreams, our hopes.
Everything at every level, and smashed it at its core, and still allows us to believe that we're free by, ooh, we got the football games, we got entertained. Are you not entertained?
No.
But I don't think they want you to truly feel like you are free.
Well,
I don't think that that's really the desire. Yeah,
Bro, so think of it like this: if it's a war between good and evil, does evil want you to win? Does evil want anything that's good to be allowed to be? Or are they going to simultaneously, a piece at a time, smash the systems of all of our positivity as best they can, so that we don't just fucking smash them before they take over? It's like a game of chess, but you got to 5D it. You got to have a 360-degree view, front, back, side, left, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes at all times to even manipulate that game. And that's how you break the matrix. Dude, it's like when you realize how bad shit was, Duke, you want to just, every part of your being wants to unite all of humanity to just end this bullshit yesterday. And it's like I walk around, I see oceans of cars and traffic and jobs and people go to their work. That shit don't even fucking matter. Two fuck alls to me, dude. I will sleep better when the truth is out. I will feel better when the truth is out. But
let's not wait. Let's feel good now, because the truth is in, brother. The truth is right inside there, right inside you, as you know.
What I do love very much is connection. What we have here, these are the beautiful moments that not only inspire people, but they get to further inspire more people. When we have community, it has reach. When we have unconditional love, but followed by real authenticness, it has reach. And it's not focusing on views. It's not focusing on who's watching or who's whatever. No, you just connect with your people and come from the heart space and be 100% authentic. And if you feel like a goober, be a fucking goober. If you feel like you're a nerd, be a fucking nerd. Who cares what anybody else thinks, as long as you're being authentic, because authentic is what matters. Damn, that was good. Where'd that come from?
I like that, man. We're gonna have to clip that and put it on your X channel.
Central Valley with that he commutes to Vacaville.
That was cool. But yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like humanity at every level has been oppressed by every single government of the entire world. The entire, whatever you want to call it, that it is we live on, however you depict it in your brain. All you flat earthers out there, all you globetards out there, all you people that are in between, where it could be something entirely different, fucking to each his own. It doesn't take away or negate the fact that we've all fucking been duped at every single level of humanity being allowed to be beautiful and resilient and living in a state of unconditional love and jubilee. Like
Russell hitting that sativa early today.
Oh, that's all day, every day. Each way the right way, my way. Green, here we have.
Good stuff.
It keeps my mind regular, dude, because for me, I found what works. I found what works for me, and it works well.
No, I'm with you. Whatever. It's like I'll go to the stores. I'll grab some indicas or whatever, but usually have the tendency to grab at least something that's a sativa, just so it hit those other those other ailments of life that just, whatever, the ADHD shit.
Well, so that's the funny part. So I'll go in there and I'll be like, I want the heaviest, make me pass out, couch marathon-y stuff that you've got, and here I am. I'm like, but my mind is working, it's functioning. I feel like all my neurons are processing. I feel like they're all connecting, and I feel like I'm vibrating high.
You're vibrating high on an indie couch. What? Huh?
Yeah,
Is that possible?
on an indie couch, and take the test high, study high, get high scores. No, I don't even get high, man. I stay regular. It just, I can smoke all day long. I can smoke like an ounce in a week, and I'll just stay normal. I function.
It's a facilitator.
Yes, it allows me to not cascade in my mind, because I've had a lot of years without it where, Ritalin was a replacement for that, and I still struggled with that. And
no, I'm with you on that one.
I couldn't do it anymore.
Ritalin's bad thing.
It made me feel like a damn zombie, like with tunnel vision. It's like, oh, they want the smart people to put the blinders on so that they don't see.
All right. I don't care. I don't care who you are. Ain't nobody gonna convince me that.
Did you know
Ritalin is a good thing? Ritalin is not a good thing.
Here's a funny thing with school systems tied to Ritalin and its use. The fluorescent lighting in schools has a big factor in how kids with diagnosed ADHD.
There's a video of a kid being super like not paying attention, like moving, fidgeting, in particular lighting, and they go and they put him in the other lighting, and the little kid just kind of like
total change,
different person. You're like, wow, huh?
Now it makes you think on
the video is a little racist because it actually points out that it's a black boy or whatever, and it's like it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter who it is. Anybody under the same situation would have some kind of of that movement or whatever. You like change the setting for them.
As humanity, when you get cut, do you bleed red?
Nah, it's kind of purplish.
Well, point being, we all bleed the same. We all turn to dust when we die. Our bones are left. You know what I mean? We're all in this shit together. All of us are humanity, and humanity.
I'm sorry, Russell.
Humanity is what's been suppressed, and that's.
But I'd say what you just pointed out with
it's kind of purple.
With what you're pointing out with the lighting
frogs bleed?
And can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Lighting.
Okay. I'm just because this thing is difficult. What you're pointing out with the lighting and people's reaction to this, and different people will react differently, even though it could be having more of a quiet effect on them. Mm-hmm. And lighting is just one of many factors. And again, relating this back to the earlier comment that Squab Bob put in, I think this is important to take note of. There are other factors that are changing things biologically.
Lots of them. Yeah.
And that's what, and this is what I'm saying about having an open mind to these possibilities that are actually.
Let's talk about that right now.
Unknown for us, but not necessarily unknown, if you know what I mean by that.
We can take censorship and take it from a digital sense into a reality physical sense. Anybody got fluoride in their water? Fluoride calcifies your pineal gland.
It sure does.
Now, who put it in there?
It calcifies your whole body.
Yeah.
It calcifies your whole body.
Well, what's also important
it can turn you into a mummy from the inside out.
Yeah. Your flowing energy, flowing liquid, flowing chemical composition. You want to keep your lymphatic system clean. You want to try and keep things that keep you away from mucus. It's smoking. I know smoking does not help me, you guys. I get that. But, I try to be healthier. I try and be better. That's something I'm not ready to quit smoking yet. I'll let you know when I
He had an epiphany there, you guys. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Yep. And we didn't even
I'll
have
let
to.
you know when
And
I'm better.
and nobody was even thinking about it. I don't think.
Well, because these are
Yeah.
things I know for
At
sure.
least
for
of my
myself,
worries.
But
No, you do you. You do you. Eventually, you'll get to the point in your life where you'll be able to do what's best
yeah,
and maybe do the opposite of what you're currently doing. Because right now, you're into the situation that you are.
yeah. Well,
Maybe it's what's best. So you're gonna continue to do what
Right.
you're gonna do.
I will allow the Lord to move my heart and trust that my heart tells me the right thing to do.
Now, have any of you guys ever seen any of the very, very strange relics of monks that literally mummified themselves alive?
I've heard reference stories and articles over the years, just very small blips, not that I can recollect. But I've heard some very, very intriguing, interesting things over the years. It's all. So in my mind, everything being frequency, energy, even based off the Fibonacci spiral, the fingerprint creation, right? 0 point energy to zero cortex spiraling outward as the creation of life, and so many things wrapped in frequency, light photons, so many other quantum vibrations, if you will, the entanglement of the creation of life. Fuck, I forgot where I was going with that.
Well, what I
yes.
think was also taking place in this was they were ingesting a mixture that would, I don't know if it calcify or what it's called, but this mixture caused themselves to slowly start to mummify, preserve themselves from the inside out. And so these people would die from this process in a lotus position, was seemingly a popular position for them to remain in.
I heard some different things along the similar lines, yes, but some other things that were involved in that kind of tie into like cosmic energy with the resilience of our energy and vibration. But like I said, it's a lot of years ago since I had read those articles. They were quite intriguing. Yeah,
And now there was other monks in Vietnam, particularly, that burned themselves alive to protest the Vietnam War.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
Yeah. The government also
That's
used
interesting.
the government also used weather manipulation tactics in the Vietnam War. And that's where like cloudbuster technology kind of originated longer than that, but then the government utilized it.
There is a threshold that I can't allow
Make it
to
rain.
be crossed on the show here, and and that threshold.
That's right. You're on YouTube.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But the joke that I made that I wasn't committed to was, there's a lot of people, who like want to talk about questionable subjects. They draw their line at chemtrails, and they draw their line at flat Earth.
Ooh, do you want me to send you some pictures of pilots inside of chemtrail planes that have military fatigues on with a chemtrail insignia patch held up in their hand with their faces? I have lots of that.
You don't
And
need
I
to
have-
send
He
this
has
to me. I've
lots of
seen
it
them.
because he created it all in
I've
his
seen it.
AI. Just kidding.
I've
I have
done my
lots
homework.
of pictures of
I've
military
done
aircraft
my
spraying
homework on
chemtrails
that. So I
at $5 per mile at $5 per mile sprayed. Plus, I have all of the patents on what they do and how they do it. All the patents are sitting in my notepad right now that I researched through my image generator that tells you how they do it and what technologies they use. And they've also been doing that since the 40s. The patents are that old. United
Well,
States.
here's my
patent
point.
folks.
Here's my point, Russ. Hold, slow down for a second. Let me just throw this out there. So this is my point.
I'm sorry.
And again, in your case, I'm definitely preaching to the choir. And what I'm saying is, the people who want to question things, right? They want to question other items, but there
Uh-huh.
are things that are off limit, right? For many, and this happens
limit
to be
how?
one of them.
Off limit how? I could get access to
Because,
that information and
well,
teach you how to do
yeah,
it too.
yeah, the
And teach you how to do it.
off limits how is it's a self-censoring mechanism.
Yeah, their mind is not
It's a
open enough to
self-censoring
recognize all
because
of it.
who believes in chemtrails? Crazy people
Only-
do, buddy.
Only
Crazy
Russell.
people.
Hey, Disney does. They got chemtrails in the Cars movie.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy people. Well, we could all see things in the sky.
Crazy.
We could all see things in the sky. This
Hey,
is
Russell.
not the
Hey.
argument of
Russell's
what
crazy.
it truly
We all know.
is.
Were you just
Yeah.
trying to point out the fact that Russell's crazy?
I am. Didn't you know my avatar has a big giant tinfoil hat on it?
But okay, with all that being said, and now, right? Things are starting to catch up, as they do. Things are starting to catch up, and people are catching on. And
For
you've been
anybody-
years ahead. You've been years ahead of them, Russell.
I know.
And I'm talking smart people. I'm not talking fools. They're just starting to catch on.
I'm just me, dude. I'm just me.
I don't,
Art
you know,
fan.
I'm just
like
saying
art.
that there's these things that
He's trying to
who are
show himself.
unwilling.
He's just trying to show himself out. I'm just me, art bird.
Art is
Shout out.
friend.
You know, anybody listening right now, do me a favor. Go to your web browser, type in justmeartfan.com, purchase a hoodie and a lunchbox, take a picture, email it to Apocryphal World Records
Well, I mean,
at gmail.com.
I haven't made a
And
lunchbox yet. I don't even think I can make a lunchbox, but I've got lots of other
okay. I
was just
stand
going to say,
correct.
don't
I
buy
stand
the
corrected.
lunchbox. The lunchbox doesn't exist quite yet.
Yeah.
Just buy the other one for now. You buy the lunchbox later.
Okay, forget the lunchbox, guys. You guys get the thermos. Okay, I highly recommend the thermos. I have 3 of them myself.
What good is a lunchbox if it doesn't have a thermos already in it?
I have coffee
But what's
tumblers and coffee cups.
Yeah, maybe you'll do a better job with the commercial. I tried.
I'm thinking of like old school. Like we had metal lunch boxes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
dude!
with
I
little
saw somebody.
thermoses that were in the inside.
Yeah, all matched set, painted up with your favorite comic character. I had one.
Uh-huh.
I had a few of them. I saw somebody take one of those and make a pyro table out of it. Basically a Rubens tube, sound, frequency, and fire and music, and make the music and the fire dance. But they had drilled enough holes into a little metal lunchbox to do it. Put a little
Back when
speaker
things
in.
are cool, and it's really
Oh,
weird.
yeah.
It's like, hey, what happened to my lunchbox when I was a kid?
And
Like,
in
we
fact,
got rid of that years ago. I'd be like,
in fact, you can find that video.
It was
still
rusted
on
out and disgusting.
you can find
molded
that,
and rusted.
You can still find that video on YouTube. The metal lunchbox turned into a pyro table. It's
you guys, I think I have done a short video on chemtrails, and I would actually like to do another one if anybody wants to get in on the action. I think that's cool. It's getting more public. It's a growing understanding, and there is
I'll do an art show.
places that there's countries that banned it, such as Mexico. Well, they banned the weather modification side of it. There is other states that are currently pushing legislation, and so there is some our awareness is growing. And I had friends, I would send pictures of the sky and and what it was looking like on certain days and sharing it, and some and there's one of the comments was, what can we
What
do
he's
about it?
trying to say is, if there's any other wackadoo conspiracy theorists out there, he'd like to talk to you.
Oh, so check this out. You guys want to come on my show? We can. Hey, if you guys want to come on my Just Me Art Fan show, we can actually. We don't have to make art, because my art is the art of many, many things, my friends. Okay, so I will teach you the art of getting your image generator to give you all of those patents, all 200 of them, for every single weather modification technology that the United States has patented that still actively uses. And I can give us sourced information from good patriots that put up their websites to expose truth. And we can dive that in any direction, anytime you guys want. At any time you want to be a guest on the show, like, you guys know this, I'll be like, ooh, that's a good topic. Let's talk about GHCQ, and we'll get a damn image generator to tell me a whole narrated spiel back. Oh, thanks. Now let's turn that
the awareness part of things is the catalyst to your consciousness.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's so a catalyst being, so let's say you have something volatile and you add a catalyst. Well, now it's explosively volatile in a million different directions. So learning only makes me want to learn faster, and the faster I learn, the more I want to dive in, and the more and that's been my whole life, 20 years doing it. And I've
but I'm talking in a literal sense, that the awareness part of waking up, the realization how this planet runs, and maybe your own part in everything, has a spiritual dynamic to core consciousness.
Oh, absolutely. We exist in a matrix of consciousness, built by consciousness, for consciousness.
I don't agree with that.
Now this is interesting because, well, first and foremost, I'm going to be more forthright with my request here, and it is Just Me Art Fan. Would you like to do a Strange Light radio show discussing what you know about chemtrails? And I could mix it with the little bit amount of research that I did, and then the question is, why is this stuff worth learning about? And why it's worth learning about is because we can, when we are conscientious of things, we can replace those factors with new factors that are good for people, that are good for humanity.
Can I be the controlled opposition?
Well, let me hold on. Let me.
Yes,
y'all can feed me the lines for the other side.
Yes, we can. I would love that.
Let me finish up where the blunt Scotsman had said that he doesn't agree with that, and I was only saying that merely in the construct of which most people exist in my dynamic.
Yes,
in my mind.
yes. Sorry. Yeah.
In my mind, it is so much more than that.
Yes.
It's infinite.
But as you said, constructed consciousness as what it is as an element. There's nothing that's been understood until it's been self-experienced. There's a direct point of awareness, realization, and acceptance within the core of ourselves.
I had to follow up with that.
But I agree with you what you just said there as well, because it is so construction. It's such a construction. Nobody's really in touch with any part of the real true psyche until they get this true introspective thing about the self. Because it's easy to blame out. It's easy to look why everything's wrong. Where we're always searching and looking, but it's really, we've spoke about before, it's inside.
Right. Well, it's just it's went lagging real bad. Well, it's like even knowing what we know, it's so much more infinitely vast than we could imagine. Even the deepest you could even imagine diving down all of those holes of learning. You realize just how much more infinitely like the infinite symbol, 8, just repeating in infinite. How many possibilities there are that exist inside of that. When you break the laws of the matrix, when you break that construct, that control, you realize that the possibilities are absolutely endless. And I kind of use this as an analogy. Cruise control. We had technology to adapt that to other vehicles over the years, but it seems like it took a lot of times to be like, oh, we could put cruise control on this. That's never been done before. But it's like all the infinite possibilities of things that could be blended together in beautiful ways that kind of boggle the mind or break the laws of science.
Cruise control or auto drive?
Well, either way you want to spin it, my friend.
Well, they're a little different, and that's why I was just trying to clarify.
You're absolutely right. Now imagine at some point in time you can take those two different things and thump them together in a way that suits something else that has never been created before, that boggles the mind, that nobody has thought of yet. That is like part of the infinite possibilities of things in the realm of possible. When you realize that it's infinite possibilities, it makes anything possible in a very, very beautiful, benevolent direction. If you want to,
because it's possible, because it's possible. Would it? Yeah, I understand, and your sort of like critical, scientific, or maybe experimental mind, where you're maybe going with that. But because it's possible, do you think it would always make it plausible?
No, because then that means that
exactly, mate, exactly. Because there's
because they have the ability in that mindset to go one of two ways, when it should be something that is infinite in its it should be infinite in its singularity of positive love, light, and unconditional
consistent
love. Because otherwise you have Dark Fleet. And that's a whole nother topic we could talk about too. 10,000-year-old world structure. We will control you, all of you. You will have no clue. We'll suppress your DNA down to 2. Oh yeah, I love that part. That takes
me also.
Ladies and gentlemen, Russell.
Just me, Art Fan. I'll be here all day. Thank you. Actually, I'm going to step out and I'm going to have another puff. So I'm listening, but I'm right here with you guys.
He's like, I ain't dying fast enough. Give me another
one. Bring back yo boy.
It used to be 2 packs a day. I'm down to just under a pack a day now, so we're getting better.
You get in there. Good job.
Aye.
Oi.
Yeah, give me a second, you guys. Fill in the blanks. I got to run to the restroom.
Fill in the blanks.
There's always pressure involved when it's filling the blanks. There's nothing natural about filling in the blanks, man.
Just like just wing it. Fill in the blanks, guys.
Just like take over.
Yeah, one time I was in this situation where
that was quick.
And then I was back to.
That's what she said.
It was odd. It was a formless. Because the sentiments of well-being were on yonder in the hills, through the wilderness. I found my.
I think he found something.
Well,
I think he found something. And right, we're supposed to fill in the blanks.
He found right. We were filling the blanks. He found his car keys.
I was thinking he found his penis. See,
nope.
Kind of worlds beyond each other. And
I'm all balls, no song.
Okay. Well, that can be a revelation.
5 kids to prove it. 5 kids to prove it.
Yeah. There he is, dragging himself round the community. These big ball sack.
I'm being hollered at. I'll be right back.
Oh, fill in the blanks. Feels the mouth organ.
Yeah, bring it. Rilla's back in, my friend. Rilla's back in.
He's just wheeled this black in. What, huh? Where are you trying to take this conversation?
You put your left foot in.
What did you just
left
do?
Foot out, in, out, in.
Manakoa.
Out, shake it all about.
Manakoa.
Do the hokey cokey and you turn around. That's what it's all about. Oh, hokey cokey cokey. Oh, hokey cokey cokey.
Manakoa.
Oh, hokey cokey cokey. And that's what it's all about.
Manakoa don't live here, man.
Okay.
Manakoa. No, man, it's been a little bit of a crazy morning for me.
The party. Would you know something? Just I would maybe say prepare yourself for today because it's been a crazy day here. I embraced that day, and yeah, man, it's feeling a lot better now. Sometimes Fridays can be a bit freaky. There's a lot of heightened natural energy.
Getting into my little theme for the show. You kind of brought for me to think about
unaltered states.
Unaltered states.
You've titled today's show
Stream of Life, my
Unaltered
friend.
States.
Unaltered states. Stream of Life.
So unaltered states, or so let's say there's two doors, and let's see if we can try and imagine a third. But the two doors would start with unaltered states. The other door is altered states. And could there be a third door to that? Russ, we need a third door.
I guess there could just be states. Or the state.
But states seems very like unaltered states. Seems
official.
Like no communication. Doesn't seem any sort of connection. Doesn't seem to be any sort of like partnerships. There doesn't seem to be, if it's an unaltered state, to be, because the state is the state.
The state is the state. And I can't tell that symbol that Russ has there. It says third, and it has a picture or something.
It's just
I
a
don't know
little
if you can make
door.
that out.
It's just a little tiny door.
Third
It's
door. I like it.
The third door.
I like it.
Does anybody in chat get any ideas?
Yeah, if anybody has some ideas.
Because
think
we
that's
are
cool
nothing
and
but an
interesting.
idea factory. We're just on our lunch break.
Yeah, you want ideas? I got ideas.
Yeah, man. Just a second.
yeah.
Here's a good idea. Here's a good idea.
But when I think of kind of the words.
Oh
in
yeah. So what
altered
it would be?
states-
What it would be? Sorry. What it would be? Sorry. What it would be would be unaltered states, altered states, or stateless?
Statelessness.
That is the question.
But kind of when I'm thinking about, I think about this sometimes, and I think about like what happens to people. Like, imagine, okay, I don't know who's had overcame what different habits and stuff like that, but my experience as overindulging in alcohol, as a euphemism of the description, that state that you find yourself in when you're trying to pull yourself away from that particular substance.
Mm-hmm.
Chemical
It's
dependency.
a very well, and it could be just chemical.
But it's more
That's
than that.
potential.
It's a mindset
It
too.
seems to be. It sure
mindset.
seems
It is
to
a
be to me.
mindset, really, when it comes down to it. You really have to think about.
If you want to quit something, you have to
that
want to.
Nobody's going to be able to convince you to do anything. It's all about you.
Yep. You have to want to quit things for yourself, either because you want to be better or do better, or for certain reasons for yourself.
Do you know something?
But don't ever. Oh, go ahead.
Having deep experience in these sort of things, I think it's too generalized. I think it's too industrialized. I think there's a big marketplace out of it all, and it is so individual. Because even though I sort of agree with each of what you're saying, I sort of disagree a little bit, because it's down to circumstance, it's down to position where you maybe find yourself, how maybe far your body has went with a certain sort of condition or mental condition or pharmacology. It's a deep rooted thing within the individual. It's like, if you really want to stop, you'll stop. That's can be valid for some people. Some people actually don't even really have a choice. That maybe their social circumstances or their beliefs that would stop them looking out a certain place that would maybe actually help them get off of what they'd maybe become dependent on. So there's so many different factors, and when we look at these things outward on the social plane, it's diagnosis and treatment. There's nothing.
I don't disagree with you. I agree with you in what you're actually saying. It's like there's always some outside somebody or whatever that you kind of say, oh, that person's the one that actually helped me actually realize that I needed to turn myself around, or to fix the thing.
Outside
when
source.
It come down to in the long run, if somebody puts themselves out there to do such a thing and you don't actually take the ball and run with it and continue to strive to be better and not fall back into that whatever, it's you.
But a lot of times also, Cool Frog, exactly agree with you also, but a lot of times, just what Manakoa was saying there, unfortunately, out in that social dynamic, when we have some sort of dependency, it's usually bad management of stressful situations that we take upon ourselves to make us cope with our own personal life and challenges. So it's like these addictions are what we get labeled with, and these deep dependencies, they aren't as big a hurdle to go over if you can truly associate where you need to take your next step. But it's easy to speak in a point of, it's easy for me to be talking like this in clarity. It's so difficult trying to, and I've did a lot of work with people who are in the middle of their dependency. And everybody knows what it can be like with family members and friends when they're like that, and all the situation that surrounds the dependency, and from alcohol to all sorts of chemicals and drugs. So it's such a difficult place for anybody to be at. And just in case anybody is actually listening to this at the moment and knows someone, or maybe feels that someone could maybe do with a maybe different point of view to maybe look at things to find them a healing path, please reach out to any one of us. Don't feel that you can't.
Absolutely.
Don't feel that you don't have. Right. I'm here for anybody that's
So a lot of times we feel that we can't reach it. It's like I've been in a position before where I really did feel I had no one to talk to, where I had everyone to talk to, but you can really feel like that. And sometimes the biggest breakthroughs I've had with people is the people who have been introduced to me who don't even know me, the stranger,
Yep.
the ear, the person who's willing to listen to it all so they can get a vibration of where they're coming from to try and at least connect to that part of them. So sometimes it's just easier speaking with someone you don't know.
Well, it sharpens the minds, you know. So it's like all of us sitting here together, even talking right now. It sharpens our minds on the very topics of which we like to talk about. That it's so few and far in between to talk with people in the first place. But then at the same time, we're open to meeting new people, which has facilitated this very conversation even happening right now. So it's like I genuinely.
Now I was kind of thinking about this because there was on the Sunday show that you did on Cool Frog Sunday show, there was a specific discussion about cigarettes, and it's a very similar response to kind of what you said, Russell, and without anybody really probably even thinking twice. I don't know about me. I'm like, someone says they're going to go smoke. I'm like, okay, I don't really think much about it at all.
Some people jump on and be like, "Oh, that's so bad." There's bad nicotine, yes, but not all tobacco is bad. It is used in ancient practices older than all of us put together in shamanic practices.
You know all your alphabet too.
You know, in native tribes,
it's
sacred practice.
Wapacho. It's called Wapacho. Wapacho is one of the names, and it's actually a different strand. I think they also called rustic tobacco, and of course you could use the popular tobacco as well, and it's used for different purposes. It is it's made into a snuff. It's made into a liquid. It's often used through the nostrils as a liquid and as a snuff. It's mixed with other ashes and different seeds and stuff like that, and it is a very powerful tool. But even in its very you could call it shamanic use, it can be used improperly, and it can
absolutely,
just like anything else, right? It can be it can become a gluttonous thing.
It's not the use of it. It's not the use of it. It's the abuse of it.
Yes, absolutely. But it's like this. I take it back to like the first time I had my very first cigarette. It was kind of almost mind altering. It was like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it was definitely mind altering. But and the same reason in shamanic practice, not used regularly, but used, in special practices and like shamanic culture and stuff, to where even in a sweat lodge, different things. I mean, even natives use like things like peyote or whatever to reach those other levels where.
Let me ask you, Russ. Let me ask you, because I've been in this position many times myself. How do you feel personally when you have such an unbelievable, fantastic connection to light and vibration and this upper sense of being, while you still know that you're damaging your body? Is like in your psyche and mind, do you have like a life plan? It's like a coping mechanism at the moment, but you have like a view where you can see yourself very clean and healthy, only taking herbs and sort of stuff? Or I was just asking you that question. How do you feel?
Well, in my honest opinion on that, for myself, I thought I would quit smoking when I was more in a financial stability set of my life. I've moved around.
Yeah, because that's what we do. That's exactly what we do. Yeah, we put these things. We put these things in front of ourselves to say, well, when I maybe get to that sort of position, I'll do this, and when I get that, I'm going to start exercising.
We put it for tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. But right now it's like
no. Sorry, brother, I love you, man, but I need to interrupt you. Okay, that's Too easy in out. That's AI generated. I'm talking to you, mate. Because the reason I'm talking to you is because I know I've dealt with these things eventually. Because when we don't, even to write it down, you know what? I'm going to stop smoking soon. I'm going to cut down soon. I even just start to make that psychological effort because we're connected in the biological, physical, and the spiritual. And why you are, please believe me, I get your vibe. You are at a higher vibration than some of the things you're saying are almost prophetic. They're really unbelievable. But that's why I was asking within the deep sense of your own psyche, how do you sort of deal with the actual?
You said prophetic, right?
Yes, I did, brother.
Okay, I just want to be sure that I heard that clearly, that you were calling him out.
Yes. Yes.
Me,
yes.
why do I?
You know, so
it's like, why do I smoke? So it's like right now in my life, smoking has been a great thing for de-stressing. I've dealt with a lot of stress in my life, and to me that seems to help.
That's natural.
It really does.
Yeah,
and I try and keep
natural.
it.
That's absolutely natural.
And I try and keep
it.
So that's great.
So that's great. Let's stick with this association, brother. It is de-stressing. You have now recognized that there's things in your life that causes stress. So what you not start to do individually,
Self-care.
as you look at those little stress points, whatever they are, and you attend to them one by one, and you'll actually start to feel that you don't need to smoke as much because you're taking part of the symptomatic effect of why you smoke. You've related to that. You as the individual. And that's why I was trying to talk about earlier on when we were talking about the dependency thing. Once the individual sort of like totally relates to the root of the cause of why the dependency comes in the first place, you can work your way out of this. You can give yourself time to do so. And all of a sudden, there's this psychological weight off your shoulders because you know that you are really thinking about yourself.
Well, it's like I can go several hours on doing a podcast on my show, making art in my vibrating very high like I like to, and I'll go several hours on end where I'm like I don't feel like I need a cigarette or anything like that, but then like exterior things happen in the universe, like here comes a hiccup or a speed bump or a call with a bill, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm stressed out, I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette now. But for the most part, it's like when I'm vibing and I'm doing the things that I love, I don't feel the need to smoke a cigarette. I quit drinking because drinking was not for me. I drank way more than I should have ever before I was even old enough to drink legally. But and that was an eye opener for me. I didn't like being in a state of vulnerability. Something outside of myself, but in a state of something not of myself. So it's just
thank you for sharing, man.
Yeah. I love these conversations, man. You guys are great.
So, yeah, I love this conversation as well. And it's interesting because I keep kind of wanting to go back to this, is this point for someone who has an addiction. What I've noticed is it's kind of easy to start one. It's not too hard to, and again, for me, it's not too hard to start drinking and start binging. That part's super easy. The getting started and the binging and allowing that to happen, that's so simple.
It's also super easy, isn't it?
What happens when you stop is a whole nother story. It's a whole nother story.
The heart is a mindset.
And it depends, sometimes you might have this, and sometimes you might have this grace where you're able to just stop. Sometimes you have that type of grace where it's not a challenge. It's just you lost your appetite for something sometimes. But when you haven't lost your appetite for something and you try to stop it, even if you just think about sugar. Have you seen somebody who even tried to quit sugar?
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like
Or-
being
or
yourself.
let
when
me
you
put it-
recognize whatever you maybe want to attend to maybe.
So I would chalk it all up as
and
accountability,
look
because you can either be half in something
at
or
what
half out.
happens when.
Are you?
Yeah, that's true
you're-
too. Now, also think
you're
about
only gonna make
when.
it.
Okay,
hold
think
on.
about have any of you guys done some fasting?
I fast every day. I only eat one meal a day for going on 12 years, man. A 3-day fast.
Okay, when did you start that?
That's like 12 years ago. I was
Okay,
diagnosed with
so
gastrointestinal stomach ulcers, so I feel nauseous all the
So
time.
I-
It was just easier
So
for
because
me
I
to
eat
not
one meal a day, it's considered fasting until because you're not breaking it until you whatever, until you eat something.
But a lot of times I can go a couple days. I don't eat and I'll be fine. You know what 3-day fast every so often does to your body on a cellular level and regenerates your whole digs.
But let me keep this related to what we were just talking about.
But
Let me just keep this little bit on track just for a second. So what happens to many people when they even think about the idea of fasting, there's resistance
Oh yeah.
within.
oh sure,
There's so much
natural human reaction.
resistance.
You know what makes it really easy for me to fast? Knowing how bad and polluted the food supply is.
Me
Fasting isn't
finally
isn't
diving into
resistant.
it. Let me just finish this and then I'm gonna open it up because I just want to make one point or try to is okay. So you decide to fast. Let's just say you're new to it. You're used to eating 2 meals a day, 3 meals a day, 1 meal a day, whatever, and you decide to fast. What does your brain start doing?
Well, it puts your neurons in a flight or fight synapses mode where they're actually actively working overtime. But it's
what actually
Your brain-
does when you're saying fasting is resistance, fasting is assistance. The brain
Yes.
takes over.
Yep.
Okay,
Active.
so
Actively takes over, and then the brain, our
Now-
bodies are naturally resilient. At
we're
healing
you guys are
themselves
but we're
uh,
skipping ahead. We're skipping ahead there. We're skipping
okay.
ahead. You're skipping to the benefits, but first you have to get to the benefits. You have to
Tracks.
get through things before you have to get through things first.
That's right.
And-
we're
And
rolling on.
and what
tracks.
I've noticed happens
Rudimentary.
is that your mind, just like doing anything else, like just talking about the cigarette things, what the Blunt Scotsman pointed out very clearly is your mind is going to give you all the reason in the world, all the outs,
Oh
all the
it'll,
good reasons to stop.
it'll
all these
justify
things.
every single excuse.
And you have to get through that to get to the benefits that you guys are talking about. And a lot of people have a hard time getting past that portion of any addiction, any craving, almost any good habits. They have to get through that part first. That's
Absolutely.
just the only
So to
point that
me,
I
those
wanted to try to put a
thousand
nail in
times
the
over.
coffin.
1,000 times over. I was one of those tobacco smokers. I smoked cigarettes from the age of 15. I smoked for 26 years. 26 years of anywhere between half a pack to 2.5, sometimes 3, depending on what I was doing. I worked in a metal factory floor or whatever where we could smoke on the floor. That was bad. That was bad. When you're grinding and you're sitting there, you got a cigarette hanging out your mouth all day long. You go through so many cigarettes. It's a ridiculous amount of cigarettes that you go through. It didn't matter because you're sitting on that floor and you're like, nobody going to tell me that I'm not going to be able to smoke while I'm inhaling all this dust and shit from grinding. So
that
it's
was
like,
me hanging on the side of concrete forms 20 feet in the air, man, and just I would fucking finish one and light up another one with I'd 3 packs.
Right, exactly. Been there, done that.
Yep.
You know, I bought off other addictions from hard chemicals and whatnot, in alcohols and whatever else. Like alcohol, I can actually, I can do it or I can't. I'm okay with it. I've made my peace with it to the point where I can go and consume a drink without feeling that I'm forced to, drink more. I know how to limit myself nowadays. I didn't know how to limit myself when I was younger. I had no way of limiting myself in any way, shape, or form, and had no interest in limiting myself. Yeah, I drank to get drunk, and I got so wasted on a regular basis to the point where I'd end up throwing up, and just the disgustingness of drinking. I really seriously don't like it.
Do you think
there's old footage of me from a few years ago of me actually trying to drink and trying to do a drink stream, and me actually throwing up on stream or whatever because it was just a bad idea. Don't do it. Don't do a drink stream.
Do you think that attitude that attitude you had at that time was a lot to do with your outside view of the world and how you perceived a lot of things that added to your attitude?
The not giving a shit because of the way people treated me. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It played a huge factor
so
when
it's
it came
quite the opposite of self-care. So it's instead of self-care, it's kind of just a fuck it mentality. I've been there.
Yep.
Totally.
I think that there's a lot of people that get themselves to that fuck it mentality.
Very fatalistic.
I'm a recovering meth addict. I did a whole fucking shit ton of meth from the time that I was 17 years old till I was about 25. No joke, a lot of it, and it's probably why I lost all my front teeth.
Yeah, no, I've done enough coke and meth in my life.
Yep, coke. Yeah, I've done plenty of coke. Fucking.
I like myself a little bit of coke for sure.
But it
was one of my favorite.
It was literally until I took an inward look at myself and how people perceived me, not based on like their, stereotypical or whatever. It was, I saw how the world sees me, and I didn't like my presentation. I decided to change myself, and for me, drop of the hat stopped. And I'll be honest, I had struggled a couple of times, but I've been clean for like 12 years.
I relapsed a couple different times in my life when it came down to certain situations or whatever, and when in using, and when it came down to it, my wife was a big factor in me stopping doing whatever the last time I stopped doing it. And we got married shortly thereafter, and then Tadpole came along, and he's 4. Oh, he's going on 5. But you think about it. So it's like I've relapsed several times in my life without care. Just relapse and think that it's everything's going to be okay, and to find out that everything really wasn't okay. Obviously, there was a reason that I felt it was okay for me to go and use drugs.
Because your mind will justify it in any way. That's part of the ego. When I talk about ego, the ego is what convinces the spirit to say that it's okay.
Right. Yeah. I've so totally been there, done that.
So, gentlemen, we could. Yeah, this is a good conversation, and I hope that I hope people kind of just feel the support and the foundation and the understanding and the non-judgment of where we're coming from. I hope that's obvious. It's a It's a beautiful
We've
struggle.
all
Or
been there,
for the
and
blunt
we're all
Scotsman, I'll
willing
say
to
it's a beautiful challenge.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And what I would like to do, because I have to break my fast in a very gluttonous
we're
way.
at 3 hours, and you're hungry.
Are you
I have to
you
break my
staring at a hamburger right now?
No, I'm parked in a barbecue place,
Oh, that's
and
even better. Yeah, I would probably break my
it's a
fast.
special
too,
one.
Not gonna lie.
It's a special one, and so I'm gonna enjoy family. But if we want to go around, we get a few last words from everybody, and I won't go first this time. If that's okay, we'll have somebody else maybe go first.
Don't forget to
I'll
come
go
around tonight. Open mic Friday night. These guys will probably be there. Just saying.
Yes. Yeah, I'll be there. What time are you
Yeah.
gonna start that,
Every-
Frog?
I think I'm gonna talk to somebody real quick and see if starting earlier might not help them or assist them in a way, shape, or form, or whatever it is. I noticed that they took off early last week. We'll see if we might start a little early. Normally 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Okay, I might start a stream in 15 minutes, and I'll shut it down when you go live, and we'll come in there and hang out.
And I'll probably catch up with you guys at some point. But
He's
just
like,
thank
I'm
you
going to go
again.
live for the next 7 potential
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah, you're probably gonna get some catch some sleep for a little bit, huh, Scotsman?
Scotsman.
Yeah, man. I'll see you guys on the flip side.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure.
And you got some final words that you might share with us, or
I'll just
for
leave this-
for today's.
I
for
think
this
he tried to
particular
and cut him
stream.
off.
Yeah,
I
please
just like
bring it on. We got 30 seconds of love.
30 seconds. I was 2 seconds. I just thank you. Thank you, Planet. Thank you, guys. Thank you, anybody that's listening. Just thank you to everything, man. So blessed to still be alive on this planet and just spread the vibration. Keep planting those seeds. Yeah, man.
Thank you.
That's good,
Mr. Art Fan?
That is good. I second what the blunt Scotsman has said. Yes, love, light.
I'll thrice that.
and I will second that. I tell you.
Shakespeare in the house.
Yes. So yeah, just me, Art Fan. I'm gonna actually pop on with the live show myself and just kind of do that thing that I do. I don't know what it is I do. I just do it. So it'll be fun.
Chuckling.
So I feel like,
Okay.
as my last words, I feel like this stream lived up to its name completely, with being a stream of life, and it was beautifully
Unaltered
chaotic.
state. Kind of
See
an
what I mean?
unaltered
It was
state.
beautifully chaotic, and I enjoyed it. And thank you guys for kind of really being the foundation of this stream as I was moving through time and space, and enjoying this. So we shall meet again in the near future.
Later.
Thank you for everybody tuning in and for participating in the comments. Made a great conversation. Thanks for your insights. And I want to thank all of you guys specifically. I madly appreciate your honesty, and it's a beautiful thing. So God bless, guys.
Peace.
Yeah, thanks for letting us be a part of your journey on the way to the barbecue magical place.
All right, peace in.
The magical
Peace out.
barbecue place.
Vibe up.
Peace.
Vibe down.
Later.
Vibe all around. All right, talk to you guys
Love you,
later.
brother.
All right, love you guys. Bye.